of the hour. 92.5 Fox News, making Southwest Florida great every day. 92.5 Fox News.
Get the best sleep of your life. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body type and sleep preferences. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
I'm Dr. William Figelstaller, and this election cycle, you have choices. As you sit down to cast your vote, I hope you'll consider this. While all my career politician opponents are hiding behind their Washington super PACs, attacking each other and me, I've been focused on one thing, the values we hold dear. Because tearing each other down is no way to build our country up. I'm Dr. William Figelstaller. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote on August 18th.
Paid for by William Figelstaller, Republican, House District 19.
Winn-Dixie's where it's at for the freshest deals and points on everything I buy. Oh, and I love earning points, because points means dollars off my groceries. Oh, and the savings don't stop there. Download the Winn-Dixie app for even more ways to win. The app has all the hits. I'm talking about my mystery bonus points multiplier, the deal of the week, and digital coupons for more instant savings. So check out the Winn-Dixie app to win more at Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win.
Local elections. What about this Matt Caldwell guy?
Caldwell, who wrote in his own words that he would never vote for President Trump.
I hear Caldwell wants to be elected to both Republican State Committee and Lee County Property Appraiser.
He's running for 2 offices?
Yes, Caldwell is running for 2 offices.
Is that legal?
Yes, but it doesn't mean you have to vote for him.
Everglades Trust called him Corrupt Caldwell for the millions he took from Big Sugar.
Caldwell refuses to vote for Trump, takes big bucks from Big Sugar, and now he runs for 2 elected offices. Is Caldwell serious?
Caldwell is serious about opposing President Trump and serious about taking big bucks from Big Sugar?
I won't be voting for Caldwell for either of the offices he's seeking this year.
Glad we have candidates who back President Trump running against him in the primary. Vote no when it comes to Matt Caldwell.
Paid for and approved by me, Chris Crowley, for Republican State Committeeman, the conservative choice for Lee County.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steve.
Well, good morning, Southwest Florida. I am so glad that you are here. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube. Would love for you to subscribe. Please do. Just go to YouTube and type in Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. While you're there, yes, click the subscribe button. Helps to keep us going. And if you enjoy watching on Facebook as well, that will keep it going. Okay, so we got a lot to talk about. We've got peak idiocy going on. Wisconsin, and look, why would we bring up something that has to do with Wisconsin? Because if you think that things that are happening around the country don't have to do with Southwest Florida, because, you know, we are all sensible here, I promise you that there are politicians in this town, people that are running for office now, that are in office right now, that will like to go to a higher office, that would probably agree with a lot of the idiocy that's out in the country when it comes to politics and policies, because secretly, maybe they're on board with Democrat liberal policies, but they just like to tell you they're a Republican because they know there's no other way that they would be able to win an election here in Southwest Florida. We got a Wisconsin government that's saying, hey, maybe we need to mandate face masks At Zoom meetings, like indoors and even outdoors. No, I'm not kidding. Just think of it. You're on a Zoom meeting. You're in your home. There's nobody there but you. As a matter of fact, you live alone. It's like Jake the millennial. The only person that's in Jake's house right now is just Jake and, well, just Jake. I don't even know if there's cats. I don't know if there's any kind of animals. Maybe fish. I don't know.
Me and my brother.
You and your brother. And so there you are. It's just you and your brother. And somebody wants to have an important Zoom meeting with you, and you have to wear a face mask because it's idiocy. All right. Well, we'll get to that coming up this morning, and of course, people asking about the data, the science. Where is it when it comes to some of the decisions that are being made? The concerns about schools reopening and where's the science that would show that there are super spreader situations in schools? Quite the opposite. I'm looking at a Brown University, a Harvard study talking about few COVID-19 cases in daycares. They've been able to go to the daycares, everyone, do studies to find out where we stand at this moment, knowing that we're going to get into a school situation. Because let's remember, all this time from February right up until July 4th, when this study took place, and they've examined all the numbers, that we have had kids in daycares. Probably a good example of what we might see. Wait till you hear the numbers. It's not panic merchant time, everybody. So we'll get to that. And also the display, the beginning, the start of Biden-Harris. Oh, I got to tell you, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris walking up to a microphone yesterday. They were only 2.5 hours late, Jake. That's it. Just 2.5 hours late.
Facts.
That's what we're looking for. Facts. Can you say that again?
Facts.
Yeah. Why not 2.5 hours late for the beginning of what will be the dawn of a new day, a new era, where we just need dramatic music. We need the big reveal. And how did it go? I'm going to play some of the audio there. Yeah, I'm getting texts right now from people that are saying kids have been, for 3 months, we have kids in Southwest Florida that parents have put the kids in daycare. Everything's fine. Nothing to see here. We're all good. How is that possible? How is it possible we could have, for 3 months, kids in daycares, and we're not hearing about these constant barrage on the news of horrific stories of kids and the dangers and what is happening on what do you call it in the daycares, and the kids are getting sick and the parents are getting sick and it's awful and we're loading up the hospitals. It's quite the contrary, everybody. Quite the contrary. So we're going to get to that. All right. So there are people that want me to call out the phony politicians. Okay. Look, before we move on to Biden and Harris and get to the audio, I just want to mention this, and I said this before, that I got an itchy nose. I'm sorry. I don't know why my nose is so itchy. It's weird. That in Southwest Florida, as we talked about with, I'm trying to remember who it was specifically. Was it Eric Trump when we had the conversation the other day? I'm trying to remember, but look, in Southwest Florida. Oh, no, I think it was Mark Starling and my friend who works at WWC and in WWNC, excuse me, in North Carolina. That we know that in Southwest Florida, you are not going to get elected to public office, especially Congress, unless you are a Republican. It's just the way it is. We are a Republican stronghold. We're Trump country. Everybody knows that. I mean, if you listen to the ads that are on this station or any other station, you know that everything is, Trump supported Trump. I support Trump. I'm the biggest Trump supporter. I'm the biggest Trump supporter. Because they know who the audience is. They know who the electorate is. Republican running for. I'm a Republican. I've always been. I'm not a never Trumper. That person is a never Trumper. Okay. But we know what the politics are here in Southwest Florida. And as Mark Starling in North Carolina was saying that there was a sheriff when he first moved there 8 years ago in a very, very liberal city who was not a Democrat, who saw, well, actually he was a Democrat, but he saw the movement of the party and was disgusted by what was happening, soon after becomes a Republican. But the only way he could run for office was to be a Democrat because he wouldn't win any other way. Be careful of that, because I will tell you that there are people that will have you believe that they are Republicans now, that have a record, even now, currently. I'm not talking about 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 100 years ago. Look, just like Democrats love when Republicans come to the Democrat side and they always cheer and say, whoo, look at that Republican moving over to the Democrat Party. Isn't this awesome? When a Democrat moves to the Republican Party, you got to watch. They're either doing it for all the right reasons and they've abandoned what is a party that is a disgrace, or they have other purposes. Because there are plenty of Republicans that are not Republicans. The rhinos, Republican, worse than a rhino. That they are Democrats, but they're hiding behind the R. And I say this because here locally, I'm concerned about, and I've already made it known to you, and just in case you're wondering, I've already made it known that when it comes to the CD19 race, I got two people that I look at, and right now, at this moment in time, I'm not really interested in those that have come into Southwest Florida, that are part-time residents that maybe couldn't even tell you on a map where Airport and Pine Ridge is. It couldn't tell you on a map where certain areas or certain cities or certain streets are, because they haven't lived here long enough to even know what the community is looking for or needs. They have no idea. They're just fed the information, or they get the information part-time, but they don't know the community. And I want somebody that knows the community. As a matter of fact, I would like to have somebody right now who has served the community, and then I can look and see what they have done and see their record, know their faults, know their strong points, and then know that if something were to happen in D.C., I can call them out and say, this is not who I voted for, and I knew you were this way before, and something's changed in you, so we're going to make a change. As opposed to, hey, this person told me right to my face they were conservative, and I have no proof. You just have to believe me. And then we come to find out that they're far from it. And I just don't think this is the time to discover the new, diamond in the rough or the new Donald Trump. It's not the time. And so when I look at all of the races that are going on, I want to see people that have track records that we can follow. And there are two people in Southwest Florida that have served us in Tallahassee that I would say are the two that you need to look at, in Byron Donalds and Dane Eagle, and those are the two, and may the best man win, and you look at their records. And as far as everyone else, I've said this before, that, look, if you are somebody who truly does want to support the community, shoot a little lower. Show us, prove to us that, everybody else who's spending big bucks to get this high position, that we're not going to have seats bought here as common practice in Southwest Florida. We're not going to do this over and over and year and decade and decade. We're just going to have the richest person come along and say, yeah, I want the seat. I'm kind of bored. I've done a lot in my life and I want to do this now. And I don't even know you and I don't know how you're going to vote. And I don't know what kind of allegiances you've had behind the scenes. I'm not doing that right now. This is not the time. Prove to me that you care about the community. And once this election is over and you lose, run for a local office. Run for a state office. Let's see your commitment to Southwest Florida. And then we can talk. Other than that, I don't want to. And then I've said that, especially when it comes to nonpartisan races, when you hear the words nonpartisan, wherever it is in Southwest Florida, the school board especially, please, I'm begging you, go onto social media, take a look at some of the accounts of some of the individuals that are out there, and go ahead and see what is going on, and see for yourself the people that they support, the people they align themselves with, the things that they say about this governor and this president. I'm telling you that pretty much just about every school board member in Lee County, well, maybe not every single one of them, but I would kind of peruse and see what they're saying. And man, if they're bashing the governor and bashing the president, then when the president comes out yesterday and has a plan and is discussing a plan about schools and keeping schools safe and reopening schools, and they're going to bash the president, then you know that obviously they're going to do whatever the unions tell them to do, the unions that support Democrats, and want to do anything and everything they can to to bring down this governor and to bring down the president. I don't know in Southwest Florida if those are the individuals that you want running school districts or even city councils in some places and commissions. It's just, you have to examine the aspects of where they are with the company that they keep and the things that they like to say publicly. And I would encourage you to do that. Look up the names and then find out. And you'll see what they've done and who they've talked about. Many of them may be listening to the program and just like delete, 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 delete. But if they're not willing to tell you where they stand and who they voted for and how they have voted in the past because, it's a nonpartisan race, we can't talk about politics. No. And listen, as a nonpartisan school board member, all I care about is the kids. I don't look at it as, really, that's wonderful. You should be the next congressperson because clearly nobody else on the planet could possibly run for a higher office, maybe even president of the United States one day, because apparently only school board members, nonpartisan races are the only people that could look at the world objectively. Said no one ever. Okay, does that make sense? I hope that does. And I'm passionate about it. And, I'm passionate about it only because I don't want people to hide behind ours. I don't want people to hide behind what they say or they want you to believe is the politics of today. And this is where I stand. And look at me now. I've been talking about this for months. Well, where have you been before? Because there will be people that you will meet that will have a record that is 10, 15, 20 years old. And you'll say, oh boy, I don't know if I could support that person. Well, what have they done lately? Have they done anything to support the community? Have they done anything to run for office, let's say, and then have a record that would prove to you that what they've done in the past is in the past? And where they are now truly is where they are now. And that's why I say with the acceptance section of Melissa Giovanelli in Lee County on school board and Gwen Gittins, I'd like to see her continue to get opportunities. But as far as I'm concerned with everybody else, just clear them out. Fresh. I'd like to see that on the school board. Just freshen it up. Just for me. It's just my opinion. Just freshen it up. I'm not big on no big bid contracts and pushing half-cent sales tax because of somebody else's mismanagement of your tax dollars. Just me. Just me. It's just my opinion. Just me. When it comes to CD19, I've already said that. And when it comes to the other races in Southwest Florida, just examine the record of where people have been. And then understand that there are those that, I promise you, if you're somebody who loves to stand with individuals who root and cheer for the environment and love the fact that the governor is giving you $600+ million every single year for environmental activities and purposes, and I want to make sure that they stand all in the right place. That they're not going to ultimately use any of the money to, I don't know, see that someone like Nikki Fried, who might like to be the governor in the future, might have their support ultimately, because really all they wanted was the money and they didn't really want necessarily the policies of the person that's in the office. How's that? Is that a good way? Not the way I planned to start this morning off, but it happened anyway. All right, so putting that aside, hope all of that made some sense. But we will get to the audio. Let's take a break, Jake. And when we come back, here's what we're going to do. The Biden-Harris ticket, 2.5 hours late, and made its way to a podium. Oh, boy, did they have a lot to say, and did they have a lot to lie about. The same lies. You know, Charlottesville and Trump and the very fine people lied that we're going to have to play the audio again so that all of you can hear, so that when everybody talks about Charlottesville again, you'll know the truth. When they talk about the fact that... Did Kamala Harris say that the Trump economy is really the Obama economy? And the only reason why we were doing so well was... Yeah, she did. Yeah. And we're going to have to bust that myth up. And some of the flat out lies as well. That's all coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. right all along, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Drew Steele Radio. It's all right there, and subscribe to the channel. All right, let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing in Cape Coral, northbound on Del Prado, heading to Pine Island for about a quarter mile. Also delays in North Fort Myers westbound on Pine Island Road, heading to US 41. If you're looking for a faster option, just go ahead and stick to Pondella Road. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
94 degrees, a hot and humid Thursday. Sunshine with increasing clouds, which by the afternoon and evening hours heads up. We will see a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
This Fox Business Report is presented by Gulf Shore Business Magazine, online at gulfshorebusiness.com.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Disney World reaches a deal with the union for its actors and singers over coronavirus testing. The company agreeing to have a state-run drive-through COVID testing site for workers and the public at the Florida theme park. Another sign the pandemic's taking a toll on commercial real estate. Recreational Equipment, Inc. is looking to sell its custom-made new headquarters in the Seattle area before it ever moves in. You knew it had to happen. A toy company introduces a home office set for kids who want to imitate their parents working remotely. Fisher-Price rolling out the set for baby bosses. And the S&P 500 closes just shy of its record, buoyed by the possibility of declining COVID cases and government stimulus. I'm Carmen Roberts. That's your Fox Business Report, invested in you.
They had snuck in the night and committed these murders. Nobody had a clue about who or a why.
You got 8 people dead, and things like that don't usually happen in a small town. I mean, they don't usually happen anywhere, and it was just a real shock.
4+ years after these murders, and they couldn't have written a more sinister story than what's playing out in Pike County, Ohio right now.
Listen to the Piketon Massacre wherever you get your podcasts.
Get more than what the internet tells you. Get up to speed on The Drive with Trey Radel. Weekdays 5 to 7. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and yes, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. I love these guys. I love the company. I can tell you personally, I've used them multiple times over 7 or 8 years. A company that's been in Southwest Florida since 2001. The great staff, the way they communicate, every idea that my wife had that she wanted to do with regard to painting and contracting, boom, just like that, they were on it. So what can they handle? How about anything to do with restoration or repair? Coatings, like the coating in my garage is amazing. They do over 700 clients annually. You don't have to take my word for it. They're one of the highest reviewed contractors for what they do, maintaining 4.9 to 5 stars, and I can see why. So you're thinking about a repaint, you're thinking about your garage floor, you're thinking about some remodeling. I'm telling you, Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting. So give them a call today, 239-872-2559. That's 239-872-2559. See the experience that I have had with Ryan Hammond Painting and Contracting, and you will say it as well. They are the best.
Charlotte County, fasten your seatbelts if liberal never-Trumper Bob Starr gets on our airport authority. With Starr at the controls, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Starr's liberal policies will hurt the airport's economic growth, cut service, and raise ticket prices. Starr voted to defund the police, and Starr filed complaints against President Trump's campaign and the Republican Party of Florida. We can't let liberal never-Trumper Bob Starr take the controls. Conservative Republican Vanessa Oliver will recruit new airlines to keep travel convenient and affordable. Oliver will bring jobs back from China to the airport's business park. And Oliver is a strong supporter of President Trump and his agenda to rebuild our runways. Conservative Republican Vanessa Oliver for Charlotte County Airport Authority.
Paid for by Vanessa Oliver, Republican, for Charlotte County Airport Authority, District 1.
People often ask me, how did you grow my shower door so big and so fast? But the answer is, we didn't. What we did is we took our family business, we hired great talent, trained our staff, and developed our product. Now, after 17 years, My Shower Door has 8 frameless shower door showrooms, with our newest in Cape Coral. If you're looking for a frameless shower door company that you can trust and research, and you want to see more, go to myshowerdor.com.
Lee County Commissioner Ray Sandelli has the business experience and conservative principles we need on our county commission, and Governor Ron DeSantis agrees. When Governor DeSantis appointed Ray Sandelli to the county commission, he said Ray's great business and military background will be of benefit to the community. And he has not let us down. Ray Sandelli is committed to continue working with Governor DeSantis to fight for clean water, to rebuild our economy, and to bring new jobs to Lee County. A Navy veteran, Ray Sandelli was an officer, aviator, and member of the prestigious Blue Angel flight demonstration team. And as a businessman, his career spanned for more than 40 years from coast to coast. Ray Sandelli knows what it takes to create jobs and grow an economy. He stands for lower taxes that puts more money in your pocket and less regulations to get government out of the way of job creators. Voting by mail has begun. Send in your ballot today with a vote for Ray Sandelli for Lee County Commission District 3.
Paid by Ray Sandelli, Republican, for Lee County Commission District 3.
The team at Best Home Services understands that this is a time of much uncertainty and much unknown. With this uncertainty comes feelings of fear and panic. Please know that we are here for you today, tomorrow, and into the future as we move forward together, safely and comfortably. We are all in this together, and as stewards of our community, we promise to continue to provide you the services needed to keep you and your family safe. You are not alone. Best Home Services, our family protecting your family.
It's Fred Kobe with your Kobe Cooling tip of the day. We're not the best AC contractor because we say so. Kobe Cooling has been voted the best air conditioning contractor here in Southwest Florida year after year in the News Press poll. We don't offer cheap service calls that end in expensive sales calls, and we don't use jack-of-all-trade technicians. Our team members are not there to fix your plumbing, and they're not going to cut your grass. Our NATE certified mechanics are there to service your air conditioning needs, and they are the best in the business. Kobe Cooling is not just living up to the title of best air conditioning company in Southwest Florida, we're living up to your expectations too. Kobe, the most trusted name in this business since 1949, and voted best air conditioning contractor year after year in the News Press poll. We're the best because you say so, not because we do. Call us at 239-482-1542. License CACO 57313.
Hi, Matt Caldwell here, and we've reached the silly season in politics. It's amazing President Trump ever won any election, considering so many ads tell us that everyone is a never-Trumper. True never-Trumpers left the Republican Party years ago. Fact is, it's the candidates with nothing to offer that are still beating this dead horse. I'm Matt Caldwell, and I'm proud of my record. I wasn't afraid to stand against socialist Charlie Crist when he tried to drag our state to the left. I've stood against wasteful tax increases and bucked leadership to defend the Second Amendment. I've championed term limits and never bowed to environmental radicals. There's no doubt that I've made some mistakes along the way. Who hasn't? But I've been willing to lead the fight, and I'm not stopping now. I'm Matt Caldwell. When you mark your ballot this August, make sure you vote for the candidates that have actually delivered for this community. That's who President Trump and our republic need most of all. Paid by Matt Caldwell, Republican for State Committee Man.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A close call for a pilot after making an emergency landing on Sanibel. The pilot told us carburetor ice caused the engine of his single-seat plane to malfunction, and he started losing altitude. He made a slightly bumping landing on the mostly empty beach. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and witnesses in the area are now commending that pilot for his quick thinking. A longtime friend of President Trump visits Southwest Florida. Roger Stone spoke at Seed to Table Market in Collier County last night. The president granted Stone clemency last month after he was convicted of lying to Congress and was supposed to spend 3 years in prison. Stone said Southwest Florida is especially important to the president's campaign. FGCU says 2 more people have tested positive for the coronavirus. That makes 4 since move-in. The school says an athletics employee and a student who lives in North Lake Village have tested positive. FGCU says everyone has has to wear a face mask. They're using an honor system, but will discipline people if they need to. FGCU's become the latest place to experience a data breach through a university vendor. Several organizations in our area have also been affected, but no sensitive information was taken. United Airlines is adding new nonstop flights to 4 popular Florida destinations, including Fort Myers. Starting in November, there will be new round-trip service from Boston, Cleveland, and New York. Then in December, service will start for Columbus, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. Another long-standing retailer is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Florida-based Steinmart announced that move. The company told us stores will stay open during the bankruptcy process to sell off merchandise. Then they'll start to close all stores for good. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing in Cape Coral heading to Pine Island for about a quarter mile. Also delays in North Fort Myers westbound on Pine Island Road heading to US 41. If you're looking for a faster option, just go ahead and stick to Pondella Road. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a hot and humid forecast with a mixture of sunshine and increasing clouds. By this afternoon and this evening, scattered showers and storms hit or miss across southwest Florida. Very typical August weather for the rest of the work week into the weekend, as temperatures will be topping out in the 90s with our heat index over 100 and more chances for scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News is giving away signed copies of Sean Hannity's new book, Live Free or Die. Beginning Monday, listen for the cue to text a keyword and get registered to win. 92.5 Fox News. Right. All along.
I'm going to give you a thought for a second and see what your reaction is like. You ready? Here we go. I hand you a glass. It's filled with something you don't know what it is, but I ask you to cover your eyes and then take a sip. Aren't you doing that every time you're opening up your faucet at home? You drink that water, you're not sure what's in it, but you drink it anyway. Well, that's the thing. You should call Max at Pelican Water Systems and find out what's really in your home's water now. Pelican Water Systems, now a part of Pentair, is a leader in safe, sustainable drinking. Roll your free Pentair water test right now. And for city or well water, you're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet with your Pentair water system. So is your family. Pentair's Smart Combo is the salt-free alternative, certified and guaranteed to reduce 99% of scale, 97% of chlorine, no lugging in bags of salt, and the Advantage Salt System, well, that can take care of even the hardest water. So call Max. He's your local expert, a trained Pentair water specialist. There's never any pressure. Give him a call now, 239-880-7799. You can find the best summer deals right now online, PelicanWestFL.com.
County Commissioner Ray Sandelli's business experience and military background earned him Governor Ron DeSantis' appointment to the Lee County Commission. And Ray Sandelli is committed to working together with Governor DeSantis to rebuild our economy. He's fighting to protect our jobs and keep our businesses open. As a principled conservative, he knows our path to recovery lies with lower taxes and less regulations. County Commissioner Ray Sandelli brings 40 years of conservative business experience to Lee County. He knows what it takes to create jobs, grow economies, and isn't afraid to make the tough decisions. That's why Governor Ron DeSantis appointed him to the Lee County Commission, and Ray hasn't let him down. A naval officer and aviator, Ray Sandelli spent 8 years in the United States Navy and was a member of the prestigious Blue Angels flight demonstration team. He proudly served our nation and proudly stands for our flag. We can count on him to support our law enforcement. Ray Sandelli is a veteran, businessman, and conservative fighting for us on the County Commission. Paid electioneering communication paid for by SWFL Jobs Alliance. 1375 Jackson Street, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
I'm Harvey Massey. At Massey Services, we know every lawn is unique and requires customized care. That's why our environmental approach includes aeration, which allows water and nutrients to reach the roots of your lawn, as well as an irrigation program, which ensures proper coverage and reduces water waste. With Massey's Green Up program, you'll enjoy a healthy and a beautiful lawn year-round. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Conservative businessman Kevin Ruane knows what it takes to balance a budget, create jobs, and grow an economy, and has the record to prove it. As mayor of Sanibel, Kevin Ruane put his conservative principles and business experience to work. He cut taxes more than 26% while slashing debt and rebuilding the rainy day fund. He'll do the same thing as our Lee County Commissioner. Kevin Ruane knows that to get our economy back on its feet, we need to keep our businesses open, and he'll fight to do so. And he believes in individual liberties and personal responsibility. That's why he fought against government mandates forcing you to wear a face mask. Kevin Ruane knows our water quality is directly linked to our economy. He's worked with Washington and Tallahassee to get the funding needed to reduce Lake Okeechobee discharges. He's proven himself as the clear choice to get results to restore our local waterways. Let's put Kevin Ruane to work for us to create jobs and fix our water quality. Paid by Kevin Ruane, Republican for Lee County Commissioner, District 1.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
we do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
Who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
I'm a woman. I don't really feel safe sleeping with my windows and doors open. There was no notice. He didn't tell me he was coming. He waited till I was gone. So I feel very violated.
I took off the windows, the door. For me, I think it's wrong. This case, I think is really like a lesson to teach me how to find the right way to fix up this problem.
Wait. What just happened? Okay. I guess there were people that were falling behind on their rent in Canada, and so the landlord responded by removing all the doors and windows from the house. And officials had to come in and say, dude, come on, can you put the windows and doors back? How do you take a window off? Jake the millennial. Jake is very handy with video gaming equipment. But other than that, how do you take a window off of a house?
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, well, that
get it off of one of those.
Well, that's it. No, but it's true, right? I mean, I don't know how you would do that. How do you remove a window?
Do you want a serious answer?
No, seriously. I mean, if you were a landlord in a home and it's not like they don't snap in and out, so what do you do?
I guess you would remove whatever
the frame.
I don't know.
All right,
sledgehammer.
All right, all you construction people, 239-479-5592. I know you're getting up early and you're getting ready to go build something super fantastic. So how would you do that if you were a landlord? And how do you remove a window from a house and to be able to put it back? You would have to destroy the window in order to remove it, wouldn't you? So what kind of landlord would do that? Would destroy their own property to prove a point, only to have to rebuild? I mean, right? Am I wrong? I don't know. 239-479-5592. Somebody will call and text on the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And so we appreciate you doing that as well. Please subscribe to the channel. All right. Look at what we have here. We've got the Biden-Harris ticket. Aren't you excited? Right? Yeah, not a whole lot of people are, to the point that even yesterday, we're going to get to the audio of Biden and Harris specifically 2.5 hours late and what they were saying. And this is funny to me that even the far left in the party right now are melting down in a lot of ways about the choice of Kamala Harris. And even Bernie Sanders was, and the supporters were saying, listen, not the first choice. This was not the one that we wanted. We want to know what's going on, even though Bernie Sanders was being congratulatory and saying, hey, listen, a big congratulations to Kamala Harris, who will make history as the next vice president. She understands what it takes to stand up for working people. She really? Fight for health care for all and take down the most corrupt administration in history. Let's get to work and win. Okay. So, Bernie would know a thing or two about taking down administrations and governments. And isn't that what communists do? I'm just wondering if so.
That is a low blow.
I'm just saying that communists, that's what they do. It's not like a vote. Well, it really is. I mean, it really is like democracy, right? When you vote for socialists, you vote for communists, right? There's no like egging on, right? Hey, you like your house there? Not saying that is the case. You have a former communications director for Bernie Sanders who's like, we're in the midst of the largest protest movement in American history, the subject of which is excessive policing, and the Democrat Party chose a quote-unquote top cop as the author of the Joe Biden crime bill to save us from Trump. The contempt for the base is wow. This was Brianna Joy Gray, a Sanders former communications director. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of support there. I mean, if you're one of the, the Utes of America and you've been excited about, for some reason, somebody told you to be excited about Kamala Harris, it's not like she's said a whole lot of things about the Utes that she loves you guys. I mean, this was last year during the primary for the Democrats? And there's Kamala Harris at a high school, and she says, what?
What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
Biden Kamala 2020. I just came up with that, Jake. What do you think?
Terrified.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No, I didn't mean the audio. Wait, I meant the song. Biden Kamala 2020. That's like a little, it'll be like a little stinger, like a little theme after every single. I should develop that. Or not. So there's Kamala just last year saying, when you're 18 to 24 years old, you're just dumb. You're just stupid. Hey, vote for me and the old guy. But I'm going to be running the show. But it's the old guy's ticket. Then I'm on it. But I'm going to be running the show. All right, so Joe Biden and Kamala Harris show up 2.5 hours late for their very important date. And it was an opportunity for them to relay their feelings about how awesome they are and how awesome the party is and how many wonderful things that they are going to... Who am I kidding? It was all about bashing the president. So let's see. The opening of...
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I wish we were able to talk to the folks outside, but we're keeping our social distancing and playing by the rules.
Yeah, what is he talking about? I guess there was a group of people outside. Not a large group, but there were people that were waiting outside of this gymnasium there for this big opening for the Biden-Harris ticket. There might have been 100 people outside. That's the kind of thing that typically the president of the United States has in 3 seconds. There you go. About 3 seconds through the door. About 100 people at a Trump rally. But I digress. Which was pretty funny because when you see the pictures on Twitter, you quickly realize that a large group, 100 people, gathered outside for the Biden-Harris event. Apparently, groups are in again, outside. Unless you're in Wisconsin, then it's a problem. You got to wear a mask outside or on a Zoom meeting. I wish I was kidding. All right, what else did Joe Biden say?
Is anyone surprised Donald Trump has a problem with a strong woman or strong women across the board?
Okay, because the president called Kamala Harris yesterday nasty. She was nasty. She was mean to Judge Kavanaugh at the time, now Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, and attacking him and the way she attacked him. She was mean. She was you're not allowed to say no. You can't do that because that means that by default, ipso facto changeo, then that means that Trump is misogynist, sexist. You know how that goes. It's just you don't have can't do that. You got to be nice all the time, no matter how they treat you or the things that they said. Got it. Okay. So far, Donald Trump is bad, and didn't get a chance to see the people outside because I want to do the right thing, social distancing and all. Of course, there's a group of people outside that aren't social distancing. So it's really this weird dichotomy that's going on. Anyway.
And then we're going to get to work.
Yeah.
Fixing the mess that President Trump and Vice President Pence have created.
What mess would that be? They created a mess. You know and I know, Democrats know exactly where the world was before the pandemic. It was tangible. Do I have to go through the numbers? You all know the numbers. You know where the stock market was. You know where unemployment was. You know where the jobs were. You know energy independence. You know all of this, and so did they. So where does he go?
Both at home and abroad, through 4 years of mismanagement and coddling of terrorists.
Coddling of... Wait a minute. Joe Biden is saying that Donald Trump is president of the United States, taking out al-Baghdadi and taking out ISIS and going after and cleaning up the mess that you and Barack Obama created around the world, the mess that you created, the appeasement mess that you created, the appeasement of countries who, I don't know, I'm just going to throw this out into thin air, that maybe were paying off your son in ways that were questionable at best and maybe illegal at worst, and the kind of deals and shady things. But I don't know, pick a country, China. That's really what you want us to believe, that it's Donald Trump's fault that Baghdadi's gone, ISIS defeated, going after terrorists to clean up what you and what you and that guy did. Gotcha. Okay. So far, hey, listen, it sounds like a rousing start. So far, who isn't excited? Joe Biden along with Kamala Harris yesterday, the start of the Biden-Harris 2020. They've got to have some kind of cool, like, little ditty at the open. Not a ditty like P. Diddy. It's not even P. Diddy, is it? Anymore?
Yeah, I think it's just Diddy now.
I don't even know. Or is it just P? Or is that, I don't know. Or is that just the Steele dossier tapes? You know, the PP tapes. I have no idea where that came from. I was just reading a story about that. All right, so what else do we have from Joe Biden yesterday at the open of the Biden-Harris 2020 extravaganza?
I asked Kamala to be the last voice in the room, to always tell me the truth, which she will. Challenge my assumptions if she disagrees. Ask the hard questions. Because that's the way we make the best decisions for the American people.
Okay. Now, I want you to... Sorry. If you're watching on the YouTubes, Drew Steele Radio, you see me laugh. It's hard to... Sorry, it's hard to keep a straight face because... So now what I want you to do is I want you to keep this in context. Okay? I want you to listen to that clip, and then I want you to put in your thoughts the fact that Kamala Harris called out Joe Biden during the primary for being a racist, hanging out with segregationists and supporting and uplifting the names of segregationists and basically, right, calling him a racist. And so now with that context in mind, think of this.
To always tell me the truth, which she will.
She does, doesn't she?
Challenge my assumptions if she disagrees.
Oh, she did that time, didn't she?
Ask the hard questions.
She was asking why.
Because that's the way we make the best decisions for the American people.
You betcha. And the best decision would be to not have you running the show. So there's my best decision. Look, it's going to be easy, so easy to pick apart what Democrats want you to think is the reality of the moment when you know what the reality is. And it's not anything that they were describing. How about Kamala Harris? What did she say? Well, coming up next hour, we're going to talk about that, play some of that audio. Also, I believe David Moulton's going to join us. David Moulton, Miller and Moulton, they have a fantastic sports program on our sister station, Fox Sports. And I wanted to find out more about what is happening with college football. The Big 12 is going to now move ahead with the football season in the fall, but the Big 10 and the Pac-12 are pulling the plug on it. And then what about in the state? And the governor thinks, and are we playing? What are we doing? And if you're thinking, well, why are we going to talk about sport? There's a bigger reason here, everybody. There is an economic effect. There is a political effect. And that's what I want to talk to David Moulton about coming up in just a few minutes. On Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along. Here we are, streaming live on YouTube. Drew Steele, Radio Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's happening with traffic up to the minute. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing in Cape Coral northbound on Del Prado heading to Pine Island for about a quarter mile. Also delays in North Fort Myers westbound on Pine Island Road heading to US 41. If you're looking for a faster option, just go ahead and stick to Pondella Road. That's up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
94 degrees, a hot and humid Thursday. Sunshine with increasing clouds, which by the afternoon and evening hours heads up. We will see a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Rush Limbaugh. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention report that last month alone, there were 235 cases of salmonella linked to families who raise chickens in their backyards. So far this year, there have been over 1,000 cases reported in 49 states. And in Ohio, something's happening there. They've reported the most cases, 73. Now, as I'm sure you know, contracting salmonella is not a walk in the park. Within 12 to 72 hours, people come down with stomach cramps, fever, diarrhea, and it can usually last 4 to 7 days. It's not fun. So the CDC has a stern warning. Those of you who raise chickens in your backyards, pay extra special attention because this could save you a lot of heartache and stomach aches. The CDC says that you people should not kiss your chickens. That's right. Stop kissing the chickens. Stop kissing the chicks. And to those of you who like to fondle your chickens, cuddle with your chickens, all that touchy-feely activity you may do with your chicken, wash your hands after you're through touching your chickens. In other words, don't play chicken with your chickens. Protect yourself. And for the rest of you who don't kiss chicks or chickens, if you're ever tempted, maybe now you'll know better not to try it. Who does this in the first place? I never heard of this. Sometimes in life, it's easy to settle for good enough. But with identity theft protection, good enough isn't enough. Data breaches appear to be happening more and more, placing your data in the wrong hands, and that leads to identity theft. Now, if you're only monitoring your credit, you could miss certain threats, like somebody selling your info on the dark web. LifeLock sees a wide range of identity threats. And if you end up with an identity theft issue, a restoration specialist dedicated to your case will work to fix it. Now, look, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all the transactions in all businesses, but shouldn't you have identity theft protection that's better than just good enough? Go to lifelock.com or call them at 800-440-4833. Use my name as the promo code. That's RUSH. Save up to 25% off your first year. lifelock.com. Promo code RUSH, 25% off.
There's the left way, and then there's the right way. 92.5 Fox News, the conservative, smart, right voice of Southwest Florida.
Hi, this is Matt Caldwell. I spent 8 years in the Florida House fighting for our conservative values. We cut billions in taxes, balanced our budget every year, removed government barriers to job growth, and made huge strides in fixing our water quality. Now I'm looking to use that experience as your next Lee County property appraiser. I've spent the past 20 years working as a professional property appraiser in both the residential and commercial markets. It's something I know well, and I'm the only candidate with this experience in the industry. I'm Matt Caldwell, and through the years, I've proven myself as a trusted, principled conservative. More than ever, it is crucial that we have strong conservatives with a proven record, someone in office that you know will not back down and will always defend our values. I have served you before, and I'm ready to do it again. I'm Matt Caldwell. I'm running for Lee County Property Appraiser, and I'm asking for your vote. Paid by Matt Caldwell, Republican for Lee County Property Appraiser.
This is 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
He's the creepy old guy in the basement that likes to sniff women's hair.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump,
and you ain't black.
She thinks he's racist.
To hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country.
Come on.
Can these two share a ticket and not drive the country crazy? The oddest couple.
Come on, man. Get a life.
Okay. Sorry. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to David Moulton. I want to ask him about whether or not we're going to play college football. And there is a reason why I want to talk about it in the context of politics and economies. I mean, this is a big deal. So we're going to get to that in just a bit. And then some of the Kamala Harris audio. How about that from yesterday, from the big Biden-Harris 2020 reveal? What did she say? What kind of lies did she throw up? Myths did she throw out? Oh, there's plenty. Play that audio coming up.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Let's talk about local elections. What about this Matt Caldwell guy?
Caldwell, who wrote in his own words that he would never vote for President Trump.
I hear Caldwell wants to be elected to both Republican State Committee and Lee County Property Appraiser.
He's running for 2 offices?
Yes, Caldwell is running for 2 offices.
Is that legal?
Yes, but it doesn't mean you have to vote for him.
Everglades Trust called him Corrupt Caldwell for the millions he took from Big Sugar.
Caldwell refuses to vote for Trump, takes big bucks from Big Sugar, and now he runs for 2 elected offices. Is Caldwell serious?
Caldwell is serious about opposing President Trump and serious about taking big bucks from Big Sugar?
I won't be voting for Caldwell for either of the offices he's seeking this year.
Glad we have candidates who back President Trump running against him in the primary. Vote no when it comes to Matt Caldwell.
Paid for and approved by me, Chris Crowley, for Republican State Committeeman, the conservative choice for Lee County.
Are you ready to embark on your healthcare journey? At Millennium Physician Group, we want you, our patient, to be in good health always. That's why we created our Destination Health New Patient Program. It's all about partnering with your primary care provider to achieve the best healthcare outcome for you. Now, are you ready for the journey of your life? Connect with Millennium Physician Group and be on your way to Destination Health. Call 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
we do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
Who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Now, this is a Wink News Update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A close call for a pilot after making an emergency landing on Sanibel. The pilot told us carburetor ice caused the engine of his single-seat plane to malfunction and he started losing altitude. He made a slightly bumping landing on the mostly empty beach. Thankfully, no one was hurt and witnesses in the area are now commending that pilot for his quick thinking. A longtime friend of President Trump visits Southwest Florida. Roger Stone spoke at Seated Table Market in Collier County last night. The president granted Stone clemency last month after he was convicted of lying to Congress and was supposed to spend 3 years in prison. Stone said Southwest Florida is especially important to the president's campaign. FGCU says 2 more people have tested positive for the coronavirus. That makes 4 since move-in. The school says an athletics employee and a student who lives in North Lake Village have tested positive. FGCU says everyone has to wear a face mask. They're using an honor system, but will discipline people if they need to. FGCU has become the latest place to experience a data breach through a university vendor. Several organizations in our area have also been affected, but no sensitive information was taken. United Airlines is adding new nonstop flights to 4 popular Florida destinations, including Fort Myers. Starting in November, there will be new round-trip service from Boston, Cleveland, and New York. Then in December, service will start for Columbus, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. Another long-standing retailer's filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Florida-based Steinmart announced that move. The company told us stores will stay open during the bankruptcy process to sell off merchandise. Then they'll start to close all stores for good. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing in Cape Coral northbound on Del Prado heading to Pine Island for about a quarter mile. Also delays in North Fort Myers westbound on Pine Island Road heading to US 41. If you're looking for a faster option, just go ahead and stick to Pondella Road. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a hot and humid forecast with a mixture of sunshine and increasing clouds. By this afternoon and this evening, scattered showers and storms hit or miss across southwest Florida. Very typical August weather for the rest of the work week into the weekend, as temperatures will be topping out in the 90s with our heat index over 100 and more chances for scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Get a 2019 Buick Encore SUV with only 584 miles for $20,000. Practically a new car for thousands less. Or a 2004 Buick Park Avenue with only 56,000 miles. Florida condo car for $6,500. With over 300 vehicles, visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
I'm Jim Molinar. As a former police officer and assistant state attorney, I'm running to be the Collier County Clerk of the Circuit Courts. As recently reported in the Naples Daily News, some have demanded to defund the sheriff's office. I say no way. Utter chaos breaks out in the absence of strong law enforcement. I stand with our police and first responders and appreciate their endorsements. We need strong leadership. Vote for me, Jim Molinar.
Paid for by James D. Molinar, Republican candidate for Collier County Clerk of Courts and Comptroller.
Looking for a frameless shower door? My Shower Door has just opened their 8th Florida showroom, and it's conveniently located in Cape Coral. With more than 75,000 frameless shower doors installed, no one has more experience and 5-star reviews than My Shower Door. We've been named #1 by readers of the News Press and Naples News for 17 consecutive years and have just been named as Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Businesses are starting to bounce back. But what if you could do better than that? What if you could adapt, deliver, and succeed in new ways with new customers? At Comcast Business, we're committed to helping you not just bounce back, but bounce forward. That's why we're offering powerful and reliable internet and voice, now for only $35 each a month when you buy both and sign up for EcoBill and AutoPay with a 2-year agreement. It'll help you stay ahead with a network you can count on, stay connected with 24/7 support, and thrive with flexible solutions that work wherever you are. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go online today to find out more. Comcast Business. Offer ends 8/21/2020. Restrictions apply. New customers only with 35 megabits internet and 1 voice mobility line. Early termination fee applies. Enrollment in EcoBill and AutoPay required. Equipment installation taxes and fees extra, subject to change.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. That is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. Streaming. If you're watching on YouTube, this is what streaming looks like. Streaming live on the YouTubes. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. Please subscribe to the channel. Helps to keep it going on YouTube and Facebook both. Thank you to everybody who has been watching and doing that. We appreciate it. So I'm looking at this, the morphing into what is the love affair of Kamala Harris, because, nothing says that I need to pick you as my vice presidential choice like the first or one of the first presidential candidates to drop out of a race because people don't like you. They didn't like Kamala Harris. They didn't like her at the time. They don't like her personality. They just don't. And so ABC News did a new little poll. I love this. An Ipsos poll. Senator Kamala Harris is the only contender across both presidential tickets who enjoys a net positive favorability rating. That's like laughable, right? You're kidding. Donald Trump minus 23, Mike Pence minus 14, Joe Biden minus 3, Kamala Harris plus 4. How's that possible? The reason why she had to leave the race is because people don't like her. They just don't believe her. They think she's phony. This is what you do, right? You try to create this new narrative. You try to create something that people know is not true because we have something called the interwebs. We can Google it. We can find out exactly what she said. So anyway, what about some of what Kamala Harris said yesterday with the Biden-Harris 2020 introduction? I got to come up with a jingle. Biden-Harris 2020. Big trumpets at the end. Bah, bah, bah. And maybe some flashy stuff, jazz hands, all kinds of, I don't know. Okay. So let's start with a little bit of what Kamala Harris said yesterday at the unveiling of the dynamic duo. Well, it's actually not even a duo because really, is Joe Biden going to have any say in anything?
He inherited the longest economic expansion in history from Barack Obama and Joe Biden. And then, like everything else he inherited, he ran it straight into the ground.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh and guffaw. But really, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, does anybody honestly believe? Well, the Democrats want you to believe. The Democrats that are out there desperately want to believe that it was Obama's economy, and then Donald Trump took it over. This striving 1.6% GDP and crushed it to the ground. Can we remember all of that? Obama gave us the weakest economic growth from a recession since World War II. What was it, 14% growth in a recovery when it should have been 27%? It was like 1.6 GDP at its peak. And at the very, very end, it felt like things were going in the right direction, huh? No, they were not going in the right direction. It took Donald Trump as president of the United States to get rid of regulations and tax cuts and all the things that work and are tangible. And they desperately want to change the narrative, which I just thought was hysterical. All right, let's get to just quickly one more.
His refusal to get testing up and running. His flip-flopping on social distancing and wearing masks. His delusional belief that he knows better than the experts.
He does. He knows. He was the one that we kept talking about how Dr. Birx, Dr. Fauci, what should I do? You should do this. Okay, let's do it. Dr. Fauci, what should I do? You should do this. I'm going to do it. All right, let's do it. That's the expert, right? That's who he was following. Joe Biden is suggesting that he would have followed the experts. Well, what do you think Donald Trump's been doing all this time? Of course, you're trying to paint this narrative. Look, Kamala Harris is a bad choice. Liberals believe it's a bad choice. I gave you the information earlier about how the far left in the party are like, Bernie Sanders loving a far left are like, you're going to put the top cop, quote unquote, in there and we're supposed to believe and feel like this was the right choice. It was a bad choice. But we'll have more audio coming up and let you decide. But in the meantime, let's go to a break right now, Jake, because when we come back, I wanted to have on David Moulton. David Moulton works at our sister station, Miller and Moulton on Fox Sports. And I wanted to talk to him about what is happening with college football. The talk here by the governor and others, even Florida State, the coach saying that he wants to play, right? That's what he would like to do. They're confident in the safety of FSU football players and others. But what are we going to do? And what are the ramifications politically if we don't? And there are, because the economics are at play here. All right, we'll get to that coming up. Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here is Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing in Cape Coral northbound on Del Prado heading to Pine Island for about a quarter mile. Also delays in North Fort Myers westbound on Pine Island Road heading to US 41. If you're looking for a faster option, just go ahead and stick to Pondella Road. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
94 degrees, a hot and humid Thursday. Sunshine with increasing clouds, which by the afternoon and evening hours heads up. We will see a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News is giving away signed copies of Sean Hannity's new book, Live Free or Die. Beginning Monday, listen for the cue to text a keyword and get registered to win. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Whoa, nice strike, Floyd.
Hey, Earl, remember Bill Nelson?
Liberal Democrat in office for ages? Astronaut or something?
Yeah, more like space tourist. They put him on a shuttle once, strapped him in a seat, and he bragged about it forever.
Yep, that Bill Nelson. Rick Scott beat him. So,
why did William Figglestaller write Bill Nelson a fat campaign contribution check?
Dr. Fig funded that fella?
Stop.
You gotta laugh. Figglestaller claiming to be a conservative after he backs a liberal like Bill Nelson.
The same as Casey Ascar.
Ascar, the Romney Republican. He can't say why he sent thousands to Romney for president, but not one dime to Trump against Hillary.
Yeah, money talks, and it says you can't trust Figglestaller or Ascar to stand with Trump in Congress.
Paid for by Club for Growth Action. ClubForGrowthAction.org and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Visit Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Visit Jason and Todd with the Diamond District this weekend only, August 22nd and 23rd, for their Summer Wedding Band Expo, featuring 20% off manufacturer's direct pricing and 12 months interest-free financing.
Attention commercial building owners, the Flying Locksmiths of Southwest Florida are now open, specializing in automatic doors, access controls, and CCTV cameras. Visit them online at flyinglocksmiths.com. If it's on the door, we handle it.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. The Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line streaming live on the YouTubes. There you go. Anytime you want to watch at True Steel Radio, Steel with 3 E's. You can see this mug. And, it's not for everybody. I admit it. It's okay. But please subscribe to the channel while you're there. David Moulton is somebody who knows a thing or two about sports. How do I know? Because he's on with us right now. And if I didn't say that, then it would be a really weird moment to have you on the station if we were going to get ready to talk about something that wasn't right in your wheelhouse there. Although there are a lot of things in your wheelhouse, David Moulton.
Well, yes, like eating. Okay, I'm an expert about eating. Okay.
Wait a minute.
If it's not nailed down, I eat it, yes. So I can talk food, not necessarily cooking, but I can talk eating.
That's
right?
not where I was really
I could talk
going.
Sports.
All right, Miller and Moulton, co-host there, Miller and Moulton. What a show there. Okay. What?
What a show.
What did I say? What did I do?
No, it's funny. You sound like, you're leading the circus. Boy, I'll tell you, Miller and Moulton, what a show.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right. You have a fantastic program. Tell everybody, first of all, look, share with the listeners about your wonderful showgram there. What do you do every day? What is it you do every day on Fox Sports? Tell us.
Do the same thing you do. They're the exact same time slot. Okay, you do news talk, we do sports talk. Right. It's not that complicated.
It's Fox Sports. And you listen.
Right.
And it is.
You guys have ratings. We don't.
No.
It's very simple.
Wait.
It's very simple. You have advertising, we don't. All right, it's a very simple formula.
I love that this early in the morning that you are firing like it's almost like 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. It's
I can see the weekend from here.
Can
I
you?
really
All
can.
right. So can
Yeah.
Jake. Jake the millennial is definitely he's always looking. Actually, I can almost say every day for him is like that close to the weekend or in it. It depends on what he does pushing buttons. But anyway, it's a whole other story. Hey, listen, I need to talk to you. You got to help me with this because because there are some things that I'm going to say this morning that I'm going to readily admit. Look, I don't watch a lot of college football. Dare I say, I think the last college football game that I remember gathering around the TV with friends, I think it was 1985, and I think it was the University of Miami when they were good. And Testaverde seems to ring a bell.
Hold on a
wait
second.
a minute.
Wait a minute. You missed the whole Tebow at Florida tenure?
Well, no, I didn't miss it.
06 through 09. Really? You missed Tim Tebow? We got to talk. It was pretty good.
I saw it happening. Listen, I've been in Florida long enough. When you're here since 1986, you see a thing or two, and you hear about the rivalries. We all know since then. And
just making sure. Just making, Bobby Bowden, Florida State, the 90s.
Yeah.
Was
No,
pretty
I
good.
remember all of that. I remember Charlie Ward. I remember thinking, why do I have this guy on a Knicks basketball team? Couldn't he just stick with football? Couldn't we have gotten a different person at guard? Is there anybody out there at all? But anyway. All right, we digress. So what's going on here? So you have the Big Ten, the Pac-12. From what I understand, the Pac-12, as John Cassio likes to put it, they're all just a bunch of socialist, communist, left coast people anyway. So it was bound to happen on their end. And the Big Ten follows the lead. Where are we? What's going on right now with the universities and this system in college football? Help me.
All right. We have 5 power conferences. That's why they're called the Power 5. 2 of them, as you mentioned, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, they're not playing in the fall. They're holding out hope they can play in the spring. There's a lot of people that do not think they'll be able to play in the spring for a variety of reasons. The Big 12, the SEC, and the ACC, the other 3 Power 5 conferences, as of now, they're full steam ahead. They're going to start up mid to late September. I think 2 of the conferences start up the last Saturday of September. The other one's starting up a couple of weeks earlier. There's the AAC, which is the best conference that's not considered a Power 5 conference. That's the one UCF and South Florida are in. They're playing. And they're willing to play anybody, anywhere, at any time. And then for the first time, because the Big Ten and Pac-12 are not playing, if we have a season, Drew, there may be a spot in the national playoff for UCF, who's been really good these last 3 years, and there's been no spot for them, even when they were undefeated for 2 straight regular seasons, to play for the national title. Well, they may, if they were to do it again this year, have an undefeated regular season, I think they would be in the playoffs. So this is good news for that conference and for UCF. But that's where we are right now. But of course, kids haven't returned to campus yet. All the university presidents are expecting once they do, there'll be a rise in COVID cases, and then we'll see whether or not they stick with their plans to play.
Okay, so lots of questions. Here you go. Number 1. I see asterisks all over the place. I see UCF asterisks. I see long ball with some of the what was it? The steroid laden baseball players. Asterisks. And home run derbies. Asterisks. Is that where we're going to be with this? How do you possibly have a season when you have teams? It's like the Marlins not playing. How do you have how could you consider having a real honest baseball season, for example, or even a college season if you don't have everybody playing? How do you do that?
Well, Drew, college football is a unique sport. It's a sport that is based largely on public opinion. For the longest time, polls determined who won the national championship. They even used to award the national title before the bowl games. Then they started awarding them after the bowl games. Then they used a computer for 18 years to determine who played for the title. Now they have a bit of a poll where a bunch of so-called experts decide who the 4 best are at the end of the year. So college football is a quirky sport. They determine their championship unlike all of our other major sports. If you go back 100 years to the Spanish flu, they awarded a national national champion that year. I think they were co-champions. They only played 5 or 6 games.
Really?
But they awarded it anyway. Now, at the time, I think they only played about a 9 or 10 game season as opposed to the normal season now, which is 12 plus. But I believe we had co-national champions, and they played 5 games. That's it. So I think college football and the college football fan base, Drew, is okay if they only play 8 out of 10 or 12 scheduled games. Then figure out who the 4 best are. Let them play. The last one standing wins the national title. I think college football fan will be fine with it, quite frankly.
Well, you just made the case then. What you're saying is if they can do it during a pandemic in 1917, 1918, when 2.75% of the world population was dropping dead, then they can do it now, is what you're saying. Is that the point here? I mean, it's...
Well, it depends on what side of this you're on.
Well, certainly not. I mean, this. I mean, I don't want to get too political with you, but I mean, this. It's not as bad as it was then. So what I'm saying is that's because that's what people are looking at. David, by the way, David Moulton joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. A great morning show. Miller and Moulton, Fox Sports, our sister station. So I'm so glad to get his perspective on this because I've been confused. Well,
Drew, if I could, just what I think, certainly me. Mm-hmm. I am surprised that we're not trying. That is what surprised me about the Big Ten and the Pac-12. It's one thing if they tried and, you know what, we just couldn't keep the kids safe. COVID's out of control. We've got to shut this down. We can't do it. But they didn't try. And it almost seems un-American to me, to be honest.
No, it's an excellent point.
So that's what's most surprising. I'm all for, the science. Mm-hmm. I am. And I'm fairly moderate politically. But I am surprised that these universities are not giving it the old college try, if you will. And then if it fails, it fails. And I understand you're playing with people's health. But the funny thing is the people that are involved, the coaches, the players, the parents of the players, they all want to try.
Right. Yeah, wasn't it Trevor Lawrence recently who was out on Twitter who was saying, listen, what are we doing here? We want to play. People want to do this.
Well, like in the Big Ten, they just had them for 2 months have to live by certain rules. And these players have lived by those rules. Yeah. And then they say, well, sorry, we're not going forward. And the players are like, well, what do you mean? You told us if we lived by these rules, we'd be able to go forward.
So the other thing now, the second question is, what happens to all these teams that do not play? You can't ramp this up. I'm assuming that I'm not an athlete. I don't even look like one on TV. I don't even play one at home. But what I know is that you can't just stop playing football for what has been now almost a full year by the time you ramp it back up again and expect you're going to be at the same level as those that have been at least playing whoever it is that's going to be doing it. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, what happens then?
Yeah, but Drew, I mean, these are 17 to 22-year-olds. I mean, they'll get in shape pretty quickly. What else are they going to do on campus besides? I mean, they'll be honestly, they'll be fine. Don't worry about that. Now, you want to worry about the college towns.
Yeah, whoa.
Okay. I mean, economically, this is a disaster. Yes. I want everybody to try to envision, those that have been to Gainesville, I want you to envision the University of Florida being surgically removed from Gainesville.
Yeah.
Tell me what would be left of Gainesville.
And that's the big issue for me that I wanted to talk to you about, because when we bring it all around to this side of the building and you're saying, well, you're talking about sports. Why are you talking about college football? What does that have to do with me personally here? If I'm sitting here and I don't even like sports and I don't even follow it, and I'm here in Fort Myers or Naples or anywhere in the listening area, it means something because there are billions. Probably, if you were to go nationwide, it could be close to the T word of the ancillary, the restaurants, the hotels, the merchandise, the people who sell the merchandise. I mean, you can go up and down the line of all of the things that are going to be affected. Now, what do we do? What happens in these schools that aren't? You got players that aren't playing, but so they're going to be on campus. I'm assuming they're going to be in classes because that's why.
Well, maybe not. This might be a lot of first semester kids doing it online and doing it from home. which will be more economic carnage, first off, to the universities because they won't get the housing and the cafeteria money and all that. But think about the town. If those students are literally physically not in the Gainesvilles of the world, I mean, it's economic ruin, quite frankly. I mean, think about it. How many business people have been for the last 5 months desperately clinging to, I'll make it to football season, if you will. You know, and then all of a sudden football season, well, we're not playing and the kids aren't going to be here also. So, yeah, I don't know
how do
what
you
to
make
do
it
for
up?
these
I mean,
next months. You
because
don't.
I was going to say,
You can't make this up. This is a fortune. Every one of these universities is essentially a Fortune 500 company to those towns, and they're disappearing.
But how did they? So how did the Pac-12 do it then? How did they just write this off? I mean, they've got the Rose Bowl, right? They have Pasadena, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, how
the Pac-12 doesn't? But the conference doesn't own these universities. They don't own the bowl game. They just have relationships with them. So it's the bowl game. It's these college towns. Although the Pac-12's got some major cities that are part of their conference. It might be the worst conference to reference, if you know what I mean. But you could go through the Big Ten. I mean, the Madison, Wisconsins, and the Evanston, the Champaign, Illinois, and the Iowas of the world, in which this is devastating, devastating economically.
So what do you think, David Moulton, is going to happen now moving forward? How do we end this thing? How does this? We're just going to wait for COVID to magically go away? We're going to have to vaccinate every kid, mandatory vaccines, and then even then we don't know if the vaccines are going to work. If the kids are all going to be vaccinated, I'm just throwing this out there. Kids are all vaccinated, and we know vaccines are not 100% all the time. And all of a sudden, one kid gets COVID playing next season. Then what? We shut it down again?
Well, Drew, I think the only way it could work is the one way that most people don't want to do it, which is send the students home for the semester and leave the athletes on campus and essentially create a bubble for them. If you want to save the athletic department financially by playing football, well, the best way to do it is to make those football players as safe as possible. And I don't think being surrounded by 15,000 undergrads is making them as safe as possible. But I don't think that most colleges will do that. And then it comes down to, Drew, how many positive cases are university presidents willing to live with? I mean, if you're okay with a handful of kids testing positive, you take them out of circulation, their backups step in their place, and you play, then we can play college football. But if one or two cases is going to shut down the season, then we're not going to have a season.
Yeah. I feel awful for these cities, these communities that are going to be devastated by what's happening. Certainly, I feel awful that this is the predicament that we're in with this virus. But man, it just feels to me like you gotta have a better plan. Like you said, I think you said it expertly. You just got to give it a shot. At least try.
Well, Drew, it is disappointing. Like the other pro sports leagues, they came up with plans and they have given it a shot. College football has had 5 months, and it seems as if that all these conferences are kind of winging it last minute. And it's like, well, what the heck have you been doing since March?
Yeah. All right, David Moulton, that's all the time we have for right now. You were splendid. You really were. I was John Cassio. He's my boss. He likes to tell everybody that. John Cassio, it was he was a little concerned. I said, no, I think he's going to come through this morning. I really do. And he was worried, and you did. You came through.
He may be your boss, but you make more than he does, so always remember that.
There's that. All right, you can hear David Moulton along with Mark Miller and Moulton on Fox Sports, and please look for the. Hey, listen, if you want to listen even online, foxsportsfm.com. You can even go to the website and you can listen to them live wherever you are. There are other places that they can hear you. With you on the you're on the fancy social media sites too, right? Of course.
Oh yeah, we're on YouTube. We're at the Miller and Moulton Twitch channel, millerandmoulton.com. You name it. Oh yeah, we got 12, 13 people listening.
Wait, will you stop doing that? Gotta. All right, we gotta go.
All right, go pay the bills.
I'm going to go do that now. All right, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News Update is presented by Stadium Dry Cleaners. Online at stadiumdrycleaners.com.
Now,
This is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A close call for a pilot after making an emergency landing on Sanibel. The pilot told us carburetor ice caused the engine of his single-seat plane to malfunction, and he started losing altitude. He made a slightly bumping landing on the mostly empty beach. Thankfully, no one was hurt, and witnesses in the area are now commending that pilot for his quick thinking. A longtime friend of President Trump visits Southwest Florida. Roger Stone spoke at Seed to Table Market in Collier County last night. The president granted Stone clemency last month after he was convicted of lying to Congress and was supposed to spend 3 years in prison. Stone said Southwest Florida is especially important to the president's campaign. FGCU says 2 more people have tested positive for the coronavirus. That makes 4 since move-in. The school says an athletics employee and a student who lives in North Lake Village have tested positive. FGCU says everyone has to wear a face mask. They're using an honor system, but will discipline people if they need to. FGCU has become the latest place to experience a data breach through a university vendor. Several organizations in our area have also been affected, but no sensitive information was taken. United Airlines is adding new nonstop flights to 4 popular Florida destinations, including Fort Myers. Starting in November, there will be new round-trip service from Boston, Cleveland, and New York. Then in December, service will start for Columbus, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. Another long-standing retailer's filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Florida-based Steinmart announced that move. The company told us stores will stay open during the bankruptcy process to sell off merchandise. Then they'll start to close all stores for good. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Airport Pulling Road and Radio Road is causing a little delay westbound on Radio heading towards Airport Pulling. Also slowdowns on 41 building just north of Old 41 headed to Coconut Road. Now there's a slowdown as well building just slightly on Corkscrew heading east towards I-75. But as far as the interstate goes, we look pretty great right now. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a hot and humid forecast with a mixture of sunshine and increasing clouds. By this afternoon and this evening, scattered showers and storms hit or miss across Southwest Florida. Very typical August weather for the rest of the work week into the weekend, as temperatures will be topping out in the 90s with our heat index over 100 and more chances for scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
92.5 Fox News.
We are going to make America great again.
Right, all along.
Hey, it's Drew Steele talking to my friend Dave Meister, owner of the Floor Meisters. Love my Core-Tech, love my flooring, love my carpets. I love everything about Floor Meisters, to be quite honest. And as a matter of fact, doing it for a long time. Not just that. You and Miss Sugar, Dave.
Miss Sugar and I are going to be married 50 years on September 6th. Isn't that amazing?
Tell us more about some of what you have when it comes to carpet, Dave.
We've got about 100 rolls of carpet in stock, starting at $1.99 a square foot installed carpet pad labor. As of normal, we have WPC, which is the Core-Tech and its competitors, and we have area rug for people to look at, and we do ceramic tile and wood also. I don't know how they can make it so cheap, but they do.
The quality is fantastic, and you are going to love the selection at Floor Meisters. 6281 Naples Boulevard, right next to Costco. So give them a call today at 239-596-4964 or on the web at floormeisters.com.
If you're far from water, you might think a flood can't happen to you. But the truth is, there are hidden risks that can leave your property vulnerable, like runoff from new development, changing weather patterns, and even wildfires. But if you have flood insurance, you have peace of mind knowing that you can recover faster. Protect the life you've built. Visit floodsmart.gov/storm to learn more. Brought to you by FEMA and its National Flood Insurance Program.
This is State Representative Spencer Roach. I believe the most powerful economic engine on earth is America's free market economy. I will oppose any attempt to shut down Florida's economy because every job is essential. And free market capitalism, that's the only economic stimulus package we'll ever need. We need to open our businesses, our beaches, and our schools immediately because America works best when America's working. I'm Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be a retired military officer. I'll stand shoulder to shoulder with law enforcement to fight against the radical anarchist and socialist mobs that seek to overthrow our government, loot our businesses, tear down our monuments, and burn down police stations. I'm Spencer Roach, and I'm proud to be an American. I'm proud to stand for the flag, and I'm proud to stand up for conservative values. And I will not back down. Primary election day is August 18th, and I hope you'll join me in standing up for America, because freedom is worth fighting for. Paid for by Spencer Roach, Republican for Florida House, District 79.
Hey, it's Drew Steele here, and hurricane season, you know, it's upon us, and it's supposed to be a pretty active season for 2020. Get peace of mind from my friends at Generator Supercenter, the #1 Generac automatic standby generator dealer in the nation. You don't have to sweat the next outage. I've had my Generac for years. It is amazing. Get your free estimate on your Generac automatic standby generator today, in time for hurricane season, with expert installation and 24-hour monitoring. Generator Supercenter. Give them a shout at 204-3469. That's 204-3469 for Generator Supercenter.
1 Hour Air Conditioning and Heating, always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Please visit us at www.onehourairnaples.com or call 844-1HOUR.
My name is Mike Gillimbardo, and I'm running to represent you in the Florida House. It was a great honor back in 2016 when Donald Trump's team asked me to speak at his campaign rally right here in Southwest Florida. And it was an even bigger honor to meet the man that would become our next president. My message that day was about unifying our country behind Donald Trump. Today, my message is the same. Donald Trump is under constant attack and needs our support more than ever. I'm Mike Gillimbardo, and I supported Donald Trump when he was a candidate, and I support him as our president. But unfortunately, my opponent's special interest friends are spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to tell you I don't support our president. And that's just not true. While I'm working to unite our party, he's working to divide it. I'm Mike Gillimbardo. I'm a combat veteran who worked to help Donald Trump get elected. If you send me to the Florida House, I will ensure Donald Trump succeeds in keeping America great. Paid by Mike Gillimbardo, Republican for the Florida House.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592 is the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. Steele with 3 E's. You type it in there. Please subscribe to the channel. Helps to keep it going on YouTube and Facebook as well, both. And we do appreciate all the people that are watching. I see you all, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, coming up in 10 more minutes, it is Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Have a little bit of fun this morning. We do it each and every day, as you know, at 7:50. So be ready for that coming up. And also, we're going to have a conversation at 8 o'clock with Jacob Ogles. And Jacob is with FloridaPolitics.com. And we'll talk about some of the local races, some of the state races, a lot of important races going on. See if we have any more CD19 numbers out there and some of what's happening around the state with regard to Trump versus Kamala Harris. I mean, can we say that? Is it really going to be, or do we really feel like it's Trump versus Biden? I wonder how much you will hear now of Joe Biden. Like, does he go back in the basement and now he's not going to say a whole lot? Just let Kamala do all the work. I wonder. Going to get to some audio of what Joe Biden said yesterday. And again, the lies. And we have to, again, with Charlottesville, do we have to do this again? It's painful. But yeah, you know, the very fine people that the president's, okay, he didn't say that. Play the audio in context so you can see what he said, so you can debunk away. All right, so that is... Look, the good news is that at least we're not hearing any crazy stories. It's been pretty consistent with really good news out there with regard to the truth and honesty and not worrying about, I don't know, things like what's happening with coronavirus. We have science, we have data, we have all the information we need after all of these months. It's good to know that we're not getting into kind of a crazy town or any kind of, panic porn going on that people get all excited about. I mean, can you imagine if there was like a story out there that was talking about, I don't know, you can get coronavirus from chicken wings? I don't even know why I said that. That would be the dumbest thing. Oh, look at this. From Bloomberg. China says frozen chicken wings from Brazil test positive for the virus. Good night, everybody. That's it. What are we doing? Consumers in the Chinese city of Shenzhen have been urged to exercise caution when buying imported frozen food after a surface sample of chicken wings from Brazil tested positive for coronavirus, according to a statement from the local Chinese government. You can trust everything the CCP said. Everything that the Chinese Communist Party says, you can take to the bank. Positive sample appears to have been taken from the surface of the meat, while previously reported positive cases from other Chinese cities have been from the surface of packaging on imported frozen seafood. So there you go. Let's blame the U.S. Let's blame Brazil. Let's blame imports. Let's blame everybody else. Look, it's at least it's just China that's blaming the United States and others and imports for cases of COVID. I mean, because if it starts getting outside of China, then you have to worry. Oh, wait, this just in. Put New Zealand on that list. This is from Zero Hedge. New Zealand taking a page out of China's book and blames latest outbreak on imported goods. There you go. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern responded to the new cases that they have there. I guess 4 new cases from the same family. Shut it down. 3 days of completely shutting down the country. Remember, everybody was saying, the New Zealand, what a great model. I mean, they haven't had cases in hundreds of days. It's been amazing. Of course, when you come to find out all the freedoms and liberties that were taken away to achieve anything that would be close to that, and not also really discussing the fact that there are probably and could very well be asymptomatic people that are walking around the country this whole time, and the spread was slow, or maybe even a lot of asymptomatic cases, and maybe even some who had it before and were beating you can't, no, don't do that. But yeah, now they're blaming the New Zealand Union of Atlanta, U.S.-based Americold Realty Trust, a refrigerated storage specialist with operations in the U.S., Canada, Argentina, Australia, as well as New Zealand, identified itself as the owner of the Cool Store. This Cool Store, which apparently had someone who was infected with the virus, and it's the U.S. It's your fault. You did it. So now you have other countries who are scapegoating the American company for reintroducing a virus into Auckland. And some of the harsh lockdowns that are going there have been insane. Oh, and also she's deciding whether or not to actually delay the vote that's going on there for the September 19th general election. So there's real talk over there about that, as opposed to the imaginary Trump's going to stop the election. He's going to shut it down. This is an outrage. Calm down. Just calm down. But yeah, it's sad to see. It's sad to hear, because we all want the truth. We all want the facts. We all want to know what's happening. We want to be able to make the decisions on our own. Mask mandates. Listen, trust the American people. You want to wear a mask? Wear a mask. If you believe that the only way you can leave your house is to wear a mask, then do it. Just don't mandate it. Unless you have science and data that would prove that 100% of the time, there's no doubt in my mind that if you mask up, that everybody's going to be safe and we'll never have to worry about this again, and it'll go away and it'll be happy days. And unfortunately, we're dealing with what is and has been described by Dr. Scott Atlas and so many others as a virus that really is indicative of what it would be like in a bad flu season, as opposed to what the panic merchants have been putting out there for the longest time about taking anecdotal cases, horrible cases. It's hard to hear people that are dying of COVID. It's awful. But to take these anecdotal cases and then to make it as if it's something like the Spanish flu, 2.7% death rate globally, millions of people dying, as opposed to the 0.0027 of COVID. These are real numbers and data globally, worldwide. Not saying it's not serious. Not saying it's not serious for the elderly. Not saying it's not serious for those with comorbidities. I'm not doing that, so don't go there. It's just about being honest and calling it what it is. Speaking of honest and calling it what it is, you're not going to get that from Joe Biden. No way, no how. You're not going to get it from Kamala Harris. No way, no how. And we got to go through this nonsense again. Yesterday, at the unveiling of Joe Biden, 2.5 hours late to the couple of handful of people that were there in the gymnasium yesterday to hear the fact that hey, we're here, we're ready to go. I'm gonna be president, right? Which way do I go? Down these stairs? Okay. Here's Joe Biden yesterday. Here's another butte. Here we go.
Today is not only the day I'm proud to introduce Senator Kamala Harris as the vice presidential nominee of the Democratic Party.
What else is it?
It's also the 3rd anniversary of that terrible day in Charlottesville.
Here we go.
Remember? Remember what it felt like to see those neo-Nazis? Close your eyes. And those Klansmen, white supremacists, coming out of fields, carrying lighted torches.
Yeah, and remember the other side, too, with Antifa was there and black outfits and the... Okay, let him go.
Faces contorted, bulging, veins, pouring into the streets of historic American city, spewing the same anti-Semitic bile we heard in Hitler's Germany in the 30s.
All right, but here we go. You ready?
At that moment, I knew I couldn't stand by and let Donald Trump, a man who went on to say, when asked about what he thought, he said there were very fine people on both sides. Quote, very fine people on both sides.
All right, here we go. Charlottesville coming up again, and the lies about what the president said. Even Jake Tapper was like, listen, that's not the context. You're taking it out of context. That's not what he was talking about. Even CNN corrected the record, but no, when you are Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and you're the Biden-Harris ticket, Biden-Harris 2020. I got to come up with a jingle. I just have to. It's just natural. It just comes out of me. That we've got to do this again. What did the president say?
You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
All right, so then he had to explain what was happening. Right?
You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
Treated unfairly, sir. I'm sorry. I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press has treated white nationalists unfairly?
No.
I just didn't understand what you were saying.
No.
There were people in that rally, and I looked the night before. If you look, there were people protesting very quietly the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee.
You remember there was the statue there, peaceful protests. Both sides had people there. They were peaceful there. And then all of a sudden, here comes the others on both sides that, boy, that sounds familiar. It's almost like some of the people that wanted to peacefully protest recently and really protest the killing of George Floyd, only to be run over by groups and individuals who wanted to take it a different direction. You see where we're going here? The president didn't say it, but yet Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will continue with this lie because they have enough people that desperately want to believe that's exactly what he thinks and what he said. And they won't even look for it. And even when they find the truth, they will ignore it because to them, it doesn't matter. I think he's it doesn't matter. I think he's evil. It's just nonsense. All right, well, this is fun. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. Let's do that right now. I'm looking at you. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. Why not be caller number 5 right now? Again, 239-479-5592. We play Drew's College next with you on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here is Sabrina Katz.
The crash at Airport Pulling Road and Radio Road is causing a little delay westbound on Radio heading towards Airport Pulling. Also slowdowns on 41 building just north of Old 41 headed to Coconut Road. Now there's a slowdown as well building just slightly on Corkscrew heading east towards I-75. But as far as the interstate goes, we look pretty great right now. The Trip to the Minute Traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
94 degrees, a hot and humid Thursday. Sunshine with increasing clouds, which by the afternoon and evening hours heads up. We will see a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Tougher than plastic, harder than wood. Nothing beats the power of steel. Drew Steele, weekday mornings at 6 on 92.5 Fox News.
Are you tired of a government for developers and special interest groups with a negative impact on our quality of life? My name is Nick Betos, and this is why I'm running for Lee County Commission, District 3. I was the first mayor of Estero and have been advocating for quality of life issues in Lee County for over 15 years. Our businesses and economy must have the support they need to recover from these trying times. Impact fees need to be reinstated to help build our roads, schools, and parks. Water quality must be our top priority. Mining expansion must be restricted. And the Conservation 2020 Fund must be used for what it was intended for, buying and preserving environmentally sensitive land. Remember to vote for Nick Betos on August 18th. Visit BetosForLeeCounty.com and Facebook at Betos for Lee County. Paid for by Nicholas Betos, Republican for Lee County Commission, District 3.
One thing we've all learned from this devastating pandemic is that preparedness provides protection. Hurricane forecasters are calling for an above-average season this year. So now is the time to take steps to protect your home from Mother Nature's worst. Hi, I'm Keith from Storm Shield. Our mission at Storm Shield is to provide the very best storm protection available and to make the process as easy as possible. Don't take it from me, though. Listen to what our customers say or check out our testimonials online at stormshieldSWFL.com.
Yes, my name is Dwayne Channel. Storm Shield Windows, they were the only company that had the hurricane windows that we were looking for. Our best decision we made was purchasing Storm Shield Windows.
Storm Shield's windows and doors reduce the exterior noise by up to 80%, and our clients typically see an average energy savings of 40%. Why choose Storm Shield? Because everyone deserves the best. Call us today at 239-491-7002 or visit stormshieldswfl.com.
County Commissioner Ray Sandelli's business experience and military background earned him Governor Ron DeSantis' appointment to the Lee County Commission. And Ray Sandelli is committed to working together with Governor DeSantis to rebuild our economy. He's fighting to protect our jobs and keep our businesses open. As a principled conservative, he knows our path to recovery lies with lower taxes and less regulations. County Commissioner Ray Sandelli brings 40 years of conservative business experience to Lee County. He knows what it takes to create jobs, grow economies, and isn't afraid to make the tough decisions. That's why Governor Ron DeSantis appointed him to the Lee County Commission, and Ray hasn't let him down. A naval officer and aviator, Ray Sandelli spent 8 years in the United States Navy and was a member of the prestigious Blue Angels flight demonstration team. He proudly served our nation and proudly stands for our flag. We can count on him to support our law enforcement. Ray Sandelli is a veteran, businessman, and conservative fighting for us on the County Commission. Paid electioneering communication paid for by SWFL Jobs Alliance. 1375 Jackson Street, Fort Myers, Florida, 33901.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's College.
All right, let's go to Steve. Steve's in Naples. Good morning, Steve. How are you, sir?
Hey, I am doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm fantastic. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD, and your associate's degree question, sir, starts right now. Steve, first of all, can you name one of our 2 senators? Just name one of them here in the state.
One of them would be...
U.S. Senator.
Right out the gate. Does it have to be a current senator?
Yes. Yes, in this case.
Okay, well, a current senator for Florida.
Yeah. Okay.
Gosh. Mitch McConnell.
No, it would be either Marco Rubio or Rick Scott. Or our 2 senators. And that's okay. All right, well, let's try to get an associate's degree on this question. The Star-Spangled Banner. Who wrote the Star-Spangled Banner?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Banner. Good gracious. Is that his name? No, Francis.
No. Francis
Scott.
Scott?
Francis Scott Key.
That's it. Francis Scott Key. Good for you. All right. Whew. All right, so you got an associate's to see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. Ronald Reagan was president in 1980, right? 1984. Remember 1980, 1988? Okay, Ronald Reagan. Who was president before Ronald Reagan?
Before.
Yeah, he even beat this president to win in 1980.
Oh, goodness. In 1980, wouldn't be Jimmy Carter. That was a different year, I think.
Yes, it's Jimmy Carter. Don't talk anymore. Yeah. Just stop talking. Yes. Okay. Don't say a word. Okay. You got a bachelor's degree. How about a master's degree on this question? You ready? Tallahassee is the capital of what state?
Florida.
Look at you. That was a big comeback there, Steve. Well, congratulations. You got I think you got a master's. You did well. You see, you started rough, and you got the Google machine going on your. I mean, you got the brain going, and next thing you know it, there you are. So congratulations.
Hey, the brain knows a lot. The brain knows a lot.
Sometimes it takes a little bit of getting it ramped up. I know the feeling. Well, stay on the line. Stay right there. Hold on, because Jake's going to talk to you about getting you to your diploma. So congratulations to you. When we come back, Jacob Ogles, from FloridaPolitics.com. Coming up.
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
Majority Leader of the Florida House, Dane Eagle.
This is Dane Eagle. My desperate opponents are attacking my conservative record with lies and distortions. Let's set the record straight. I'm Dane Eagle, and I have the strongest record against illegal immigration in this field. I voted against tuition for illegals 3 times. As Republican Majority Leader, I blocked the Democrats' attempt to give them driver's licenses and work with Governor DeSantis to expand E-Verify and ban sanctuary cities. Sure, I supported Mitt Romney over Barack Obama in 2012. So did President Trump, and I bet you did too. I'm Dane Eagle, and I'm the only person in this race to stand with President Trump on the Second Amendment. I sponsor nearly 20 bills in the Florida House to protect and defend your right to keep and bear arms. I'm Dane Eagle, and I approve this message because it's the truth. I'm being attacked by Washington insiders and self-funders because they have no record of their own. I'm Dane Eagle, and I'm asking for your vote.
Thank you, Dane.
Paid for by Dane Eagle for Congress.
Whoa, nice strike, Floyd.
Hey, Earl, remember Bill Nelson?
Liberal Democrat in office for ages? Astronaut or something?
Yeah, more like space tourist. They put him on a shuttle once, strapped him in a seat, and he bragged about it forever.
Yep, that Bill Nelson. Rick Scott beat him. So,
why did William Figglestaller write Bill Nelson a fat campaign contribution check?
Dr. Fig funded that fella?
Stop.
You gotta laugh. Figglestaller claiming to be a conservative after he backs a liberal like Bill Nelson.
The same as Casey Ascar.
Ascar, the Romney Republican. He can't say why he sent thousands to Romney for president, but not one dime to Trump against Hillary.
Yeah, money talks, and it says you can't trust Figglestaller or Ascar to stand with Trump in Congress.
Paid for by Club for Growth Action. ClubForGrowthAction.org and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hi, Matt Caldwell here, and we've reached the silly season in politics. It's amazing President Trump ever won any election, considering so many ads tell us that everyone is a never-Trumper. True never-Trumpers left the Republican Party years ago. Fact is, it's the candidates with nothing to offer that are still beating this dead horse. I'm Matt Caldwell, and I'm proud of my record. I wasn't afraid to stand against socialist Charlie Crist when he tried to drag our state to the left. I've stood against wasteful tax increases and bucked leadership to defend the Second Amendment. I've championed term limits and never bowed to environmental radicals. There's no doubt that I've made some mistakes along the way. Who hasn't? But I've been willing to lead the fight, and I'm not stopping now. I'm Matt Caldwell. When you mark your ballot this August, make sure you vote for the candidates that have actually delivered for this community. That's who President Trump and our republic need most of all. Paid by Matt Caldwell, Republican for State Committee.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by CFS Roofing. Online at cfsroofing.com.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A close call for a pilot after making an emergency landing on Sanibel. The pilot told us carburetor ice caused the engine of his single-seat plane to malfunction and he started losing altitude. He made a slightly bumping landing on the mostly empty beach. Thankfully, no one was hurt and witnesses in the area are now commending that pilot for his quick thinking. A longtime friend of President Trump visits Southwest Florida. Roger Stone spoke at Seed to Table Market in Collier County last night. The president granted Stone clemency last month after he was convicted of lying to Congress and was supposed to spend 3 years in prison. Stone said Southwest Florida is especially important to the president's campaign. FGCU says 2 more people have tested positive for the coronavirus. That makes 4 since move-in. The school says an athletics employee and a student who lives in North Lake Village have tested positive. FGCU says everyone has to wear a face mask. They're using an honor system, but will discipline people if they need to. FGCU's become the latest place to experience a data breach through a university vendor. Several organizations in our area have also been affected, but no sensitive information was taken. United Airlines is adding new nonstop flights to 4 popular Florida destinations, including Fort Myers. Starting in November, there will be new round-trip service from Boston, Cleveland, and New York. Then in December, service will start for Columbus, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. Another long-standing retailer's filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Florida-based Steinmart announced that move. The company told us stores will stay open during the bankruptcy process to sell off merchandise. Then they'll start to close all stores for good. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at Airport Pulling Road and Radio Road is causing a little delay westbound on Radio heading towards Airport Pulling. Also slowdowns on 41 building just north of Old 41 headed to Coconut Road. Now there's a slowdown as well building just slightly on Corkscrew heading east towards I-75. But as far as the interstate goes, we look pretty great right now. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a hot and humid forecast with a mixture of sunshine and increasing clouds. By this afternoon and this evening, scattered showers and storms hit or miss across Southwest Florida. Very typical August weather for the rest of the work week into the weekend, as temperatures will be topping out in the 90s with our heat index over 100 and more chances for scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Building a dream takes hard work, discipline, determination. Casey Asghar started with nothing, but his hard work created jobs. His discipline shaped a community. His determination built an American dream. Those same qualities built our nation. And to rebuild our economy, we need them now more than ever.
I'm Casey Asghar, and I approve this message. My family came to America to pursue the American dream. We owe it to our children to keep the dream alive.
Paid for by Casey Asghar for Congress.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
Why? Why pay more for a used car or truck when Galliana Kia in Fort Myers can sell you a new car for less? 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
At Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-20.
Charlotte County, fasten your seatbelts if liberal never-Trumper Bob Starr gets on our airport authority. With Starr at the controls, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Starr's liberal policies will hurt the airport's economic growth, cut service, and raise ticket prices. Starr voted to defund the police. And Starr filed complaints against President Trump's campaign and the Republican Party of Florida. We can't let liberal never-Trumper Bob Starr take the controls. Conservative Republican Vanessa Oliver will recruit new airlines to keep travel convenient and affordable. Oliver will bring jobs back from China to the airport's business park. And Oliver is a strong supporter of President Trump and his agenda to rebuild our runways. Conservative Republican Vanessa Oliver for Charlotte County Airport Authority.
Paid for by Vanessa Oliver, Republican, for Charlotte County Airport Authority, District 1.
I'm Dr. William Figglestaller. In this election cycle, you have choices. As you sit down to cast your vote, I hope you'll consider this. While all my career politician opponents are hiding behind their Washington super PACs, attacking each other and me, I've been focused on one thing: fighting for you and the conservative values we hold dear. Because tearing each other down is no way to build our country up. I'm Dr. William Figglestaller. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote on August 18th.
Paid for by William Figglestaller, Republican, House District 19.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. We stream live on YouTube. Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. If you enjoy watching on YouTube and on Facebook, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It helps to keep this going, and we do appreciate it. Jacob Ogles is with FloridaPolitics.com. Jacob Ogles joining us right now on Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, to talk a little bit about the state, some of the local races, some of, I don't know, a little bit. Jacob, we'll just cover a little bit of everything. How's that? Is Jacob there? Unless Jacob's not there. Jake, is Jacob there? Does Jacob hear me?
He's definitely here. He's just not saying anything.
Oh, I don't know why. Just double check with him. Go ahead and put the phone on hold, and then let him know we're live, and then come right back. Jacob, are you there? Hello, Jacob. I got to do a song for him. Is that it? All right.
He's ready for you.
He's ready. Okay. Jacob, are you there? Jacob? For some reason, Jacob can't hear us. All right. I'll try to make a connection here. So I'll work on that right now. See if we can hook up with him here at the studio here in the Palatial Home Studios. All right. 239-479-5592. Because I am curious to see what exactly is going on with the state and with the selection of Kamala Harris now. Be interesting to see what Jacob thinks about that with regard to the state and what Democrats here in the state think. And I wonder what the polling right now, the latest polling on what's happening with the president. And also, like we said, we're going to cover some of the state issues once we get Jacob on the line. So I'll do that right now. We'll see what we can do. 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line, streaming live on YouTube. Right now at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. And we'll see if we can reach out to him right now, and hopefully we'll have him on. Jacob, it's Drew Steele. Are you there? Can you hear me, sir? You're live on the air.
Okay.
How are you, Jacob?
Hey, how are you doing, Drew?
I'm great. All right, we got you. Good to know. Okay. No worries. I'm glad that sorry about the connection issues. It's technical glitches. Things happen. All right. So tell me, Jacob, a couple of things. The choice of Kamala Harris here in the state of Florida. What have you heard around the state when it comes to Democrats? Are they excited about this? Because obviously Val Demings, Democrats in the state, were talking. Were kind of. It sounded as if they were excited that the prospect that Val Demings could have been the choice. What are you hearing? Anything at all?
Certainly in Central Florida, there's some disappointment about Val Demings being passed over for the position. I think that would have brought a certain level of boost for Biden in the state. At the same time, the polling that we've seen has shown that her name recognition isn't great outside of the Orlando area. So I don't know if it would have provided as much of a boost as Biden would have wanted in order to override any other concerns.
Yeah, I guess because that's going to be the big question is, I guess the thinking, because traditionally, right, Jacob, you would imagine the thinking is, how does a vice presidential candidate get you certain states? How do they help you in areas that will be ones that will be contentious? So they've locked down the tricky state of California for Democrats. If you're looking at the old traditional model, right? So let's throw out the traditional model. But it sounds like you're not hearing the kind of excitement that you might wish you would have in the state, knowing that, look, it's going to be a tight race here, no matter how you slice it, right? For Trump and Biden and what it's going to be like at the end of the day.
Oh, sure. It's going to be a tight race in Florida. It always is a tight race in Florida.
Yeah.
I think the hope is certainly that Kamala Harris drives up turnout among black voters. Obama won the state twice when they had high voter turnout. Democrats have lost the state when there wasn't high black voter turnout. So that's sort of what's being driven there.
Mm-hmm.
Val Demings obviously would have checked that mark as well. It's hard to say at this point if there's going to be any sort of direct bump from the Kamala Harris pick.
Yeah, I guess
we'll just have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, and I also heard, I don't know if this is true, I'm looking on, I guess it is, because I'm looking on FloridaPolitics.com. Vince Evans is going to be Kamala Harris's political director for the Biden campaign. That name sounds familiar. Where have I heard Vince Evans from before? Well, tell us, Jacob. I just want to double check.
That would be.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, go ahead. All right, you don't have to say it. I'll say
you
it.
Caught me off guard.
I know. Well, look, no, I'm just laughing because I'm looking in, just in case people don't know and are not familiar with Vince Evans. Yeah, he served as the political director for Andrew Gillum. Right. And so, so that guy. So, it'll be interesting to see how things go there with that.
Resume that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just, you don't have to say anything, Jacob. I'm just putting it out there that. Interesting how politics on the Democrat side works in the state. It's interesting. That's all. It's when you consider that there are many Democrats who could do the job, and that's the one you go to. It's an interesting prospect. All right, Jacob, let's do this. Let's talk about some of the local races, state races. I believe. Do you have polling for states for races in District 76 and 78? Is that right? Is that the latest that you have?
Yeah. We have polls in both of those that St. Pete Polls conducted for Florida Politics, and we are seeing. In the one race, Jenna Persons in 78 holding a steady 19-point lead over Roger Lally. Charlie Lynch is playing a respectable 10%, but that's mostly bad news for Lally in terms of taking up votes that he really needs to pick up in order to compete with Persons in the final stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then over in 76, we see Adam Batana with a pretty strong 16-point lead, like a 35-19 lead over Jason Mon. There's a lot more voters still at play. So I think both of these are still going to be races to watch to the finish line, but you got clear front runners in both cases at this point, with Batana and the Persons.
So, right. And I know last week we had an opportunity to talk about the interesting CD19 race. I use the word interesting, Jacob, because it's crazy. It's crazy town here in Southwest Florida with CD19. It is absolutely nuts. The money that's being spent, the things that are being said, the things that are happening up and down. We don't have any new polling, I don't believe, or you have any new insight on that. But we do know that it has been. Would you say? From the outside perspective, would you say that out of is there a race in Florida that compares to our race and how the money that's spent and how crazy it's been and contentious? Is there one that you can think of?
In terms of money, I would not say so. I think the fact that you have got 4 major Republicans fighting it out for this, all with PACs playing some role and buying even more advertising on top of that, this has been the most expensive race in Florida so far. There's other contentious races. You know, we just have a poll that's coming out this morning in CD15 in Central Florida that's showing Ross Spano actually in some trouble in his primary up there. So there's other important fights to watch in Florida on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But I would say none are as contentious or as expensive or with so much noise as CD19 right now. I think we have a front row seat in Southwest Florida to a very big battle for the primary season.
Yeah. And, you know, before we go, I did want to ask you generally, as far as what you have heard and seen with the numbers, the latest, or if there's anything you have with Trump and Biden, what those numbers look like. Ultimately we know it's going to be close, but I wonder if we're getting a gauge as to where the polling is skewing. Do you know what's going on right now generally?
Well, certainly, I mean, where you saw about a 10-point lead in all the Florida polls with Biden a couple weeks ago, it shrunk to about 6, somehow even have it at 4, which shows you the direction things are going. Like I said last time I was on, if the election were held today, Biden would probably win, but the election's not held today. There's a whole lot of runway ahead between now and the election. And Florida most likely is going to be a 1-point election, just like it has been for every governor and presidential race dating back more than a decade.
Yeah, we know it's going to be close. All right, I appreciate a few minutes of your time, my friend, and sorry about our little glitch at the beginning, but we'll get all that right.
No worries.
And it's good to speak with you. That is Jacob Ogles from FloridaPolitics.com. All right, my friend, have a great day. Thanks so much.
Anytime, Drew.
All right, we'll see you soon. All right, there he goes. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along. Let's find out what's happening with traffic. Right now, up to the minute. Let's see what's going on. Here is Sabrina Katz.
The crash at Airport Pulling Road and Radio Road is causing a little delay westbound on Radio heading towards Airport Pulling. Also slowdowns on 41 building just north of Old 41 headed to Coconut Road. Now there's a slowdown as well building just slightly on Corkscrew heading east towards I-75. But as far as the interstate goes, we look pretty great right now. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
94 degrees, a hot and humid Thursday. Sunshine with increasing clouds, which by the afternoon and evening hours heads up. We will see a round of some hit or miss scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
Blah, 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 blah. Gear up for the liberal loudmouths at work. Drew Steele, mornings on 92.5 Fox News.
Across the country, police departments are being defunded, criminals are being released en masse, and violent crime is on the rise. But here in Lee County, that's not how we roll. Sheriff Carmine Marcino is on the job, and he knows what to do with violent criminals. Arrest them, prosecute them, put them behind bars.
I'm Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marcino. Protecting Lee County is my top priority. Utilizing technology to implement sophisticated strategies to catch criminals. Consistently working to improve our response times. Putting more deputies on the street to keep career criminals off them.
It's hard work, but Sheriff Carmine Marcino understands that keeping our neighborhoods, schools, and businesses safe is worth it. That's why Lee County has one of the lowest crime rates in Florida.
I'm Sheriff Carmine Marcino, and I serve to protect you.
Paid electioneering communication paid for by the Conservative Champion Leaders, 133 Harbor Drive, South Venice, Florida, 34285.
I'm Harvey Massey. Think about this for a moment. Pest control involves applying pesticides inside your home, whether needed or not. At Massey Services, we just don't do that. We prevent pests from getting inside your home, so we won't have to control them later. Why settle for pest control when you can trust Massey's Pest Prevention. It's guaranteed or your money back. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Looks like Planned Parenthood's favorite politician, Heather Fitzenhagen, has some explaining of her own to do. While in the legislature, why did Heather Fitzenhagen fail to pay her property taxes 4 times in 5 years?
Lucy?
Why did the Florida Elections Commission find probable cause that Fitzenhagen was untruthful on her financial disclosure form? Why have Fitzenhagen's campaigns racked up over 50 violations and more than $3,000 in fines?
You got some explaining to do.
Why did Fitzenhagen's special interest funded PAC pay for her hotel room in Toronto, Canada? Why was Fitzenhagen's stay at the Ritz-Carlton Resort in Aruba paid for by her campaign? Why did Heather Fitzenhagen lose the lawsuit filed by her Tallahassee landlord for wrecking her apartment and not paying her rent? There's got to be an explanation for all of this.
We are waiting.
Paid by Ray Rodriguez for Florida Senate.
Now more than ever, it's essential to have a primary care provider ready to care for you. Book your first appointment through Millennium Physician Group's telehealth service, MPG Connect, and get established with a care team who'll be there for you wherever and whenever you need. Primary and specialty care, walk-in centers, lab services, imaging centers, and COVID-19 evaluation and testing. Connect with Millennium Physician Group today and be ready for tomorrow. 844-CALL-MPG. 844-CALL-MPG, millenniumphysician.com.
Conservative businessman Kevin Ruane knows what it takes to balance a budget, create jobs, and grow an economy, and has the record to prove it. As mayor of Sanibel, Kevin Ruane put his conservative principles and business experience to work. He cut taxes more than 26% while slashing debt and rebuilding the rainy day fund. He'll do the same thing as our Lee County Commissioner. Kevin Ruane knows that to get our economy back on its feet, we need to keep our businesses open, and he'll fight to do so. And he believes in individual liberties and personal responsibility. That's why he fought against government mandates forcing you to wear a face mask. Kevin Ruane knows our water quality is directly linked to our economy. He's worked with Washington and Tallahassee to get the funding needed to reduce Lake Okeechobee discharges. He's proven himself as the clear choice to get results to restore our local waterways. Let's put Kevin Ruane to work for us to create jobs and fix our water quality.
Paid by Kevin Ruane, Republican for Lee County Commissioner, District 1.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Stay break 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and Text line. And streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel. Just looking at some of the Twitterverse is, not only is it a cesspool, but it's also quite humorous at some point. And I'm looking at this tweet from Breitbart. It says that celebrities can't stop celebrating Kamala Harris. You know, you got to pronounce her name right. It's Kamala Harris. And the celebrities are saying that they have this, like, quote, "Yes, we can." Yeah, but they're pronouncing her name wrong. It's calm. Yes, we come. Like communist. Oh, I know, that's so outrageous for me to say. How dare you say that? Can you give me one example? Just one. Give me one way that you would even suggest that socialism would be anywhere near Kamala Harris, that she's more liberal than Bernie Sanders. Is there one example that you can give me? Here it is. It just showed up. From Newsweek, you know, the very conservative leaning organization. I can't even say that with a straight face. Kamala Harris, more liberal than Bernie Sanders, Senate record analysis shows. She's more liberal than Bernie Sanders. No, she's not. No, she's not, because I think we heard, who was it? Wasn't it George Stephanopoulos? No, she's a moderate.
Harris comes from the middle-of-the-road moderate wing of the Democratic Party, not the first choice of progressives, but Joe Biden banking that this historic move as the first woman of color on a national ticket will overcome that.
Okay. So a lot of questions. Number one, when do we stop with, I guess it's Democrats or anybody. Here's a perfect example of where I'm going with this. Babylon Bee, satirical website. Kamala Harris humbled to have been chosen exclusively for her race and gender. I mean, I think it's a funny headline because it does speak volumes to why are we continuing this? We don't care about her race or her gender. We care about her politics, her policies, how she has voted in the Senate, what she has done. Why can we all not follow that line of thinking that none of that matters? Why does it always have to be about identity? Identity politics, and who are the ones that continue to have to do this? Stop it. Number one, because all I need to know is Kamala Harris is more liberal than Bernie Sanders. Her Senate record analysis shows there's a record. And when there's a record, you can see what somebody has done and what somebody hasn't done. And that even goes even for me and for the CD19 race, and why I've said it. It's not the time right now to figure that somebody is going to vote a certain way or not. I need somebody with a record now, because the last time I trusted somebody to tell me they were a conservative, they wanted a carbon tax. No, it's not the time. I'm not looking for diamonds in the rough. I'm looking for people that have been vetted. You can look at, you can see a record where they've been, especially in Tallahassee. You can see what they've done and then judge by that record. That's important, right?
This is Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News.
My name is Mike Gillimbardo, and I'm running to represent you in the Florida House. It was a great honor back in 2016 when Donald Trump's team asked me to speak at his campaign rally right here in Southwest Florida. And it was an even bigger honor to meet the man that would become our next president. My message that day was about unifying our country behind Donald Trump. Today, my message is the same. Donald Trump is under constant attack and needs our support more than ever. I'm Mike Gillimbardo, and I supported Donald Trump when he was a candidate, and I support him as our president. But unfortunately, my opponent's special interest friends are spending tens of thousands of dollars trying to tell you I don't support our president. And that's just not true. While I'm working to unite our party, he's working to divide it. I'm Mike Gillimbardo. I'm a combat veteran who worked to help Donald Trump get elected. If you send me to the Florida House, I will ensure Donald Trump succeeds in keeping America great. Paid by Mike Gillimbardo, Republican for the Florida House.
Home is truly where the heart is. CFS Roofing Services understands that. When I saw what CFS did for my neighbor's roof, I called them. Everyone was professional, and owner David Crowther has nearly 4 decades of experience. It's obvious they care.
CFS Roofing Services, where your home matters most. Visit cfsroofing.com or call 239-561-2600. I'm David Crowther, and I approve this message.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
we do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
Who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
Charlotte County, fasten your seatbelts if liberal never-Trumper Bob Starr gets on our airport authority. With Starr at the controls, it's going to be a bumpy ride. Starr's liberal policies will hurt the airport's economic growth, cut service, and raise ticket prices. Starr voted to defund the police, and Starr filed complaints against President Trump's campaign and the Republican Party of Florida. We can't let liberal never-Trumper Bob Starr take the controls. Conservative Republican Vanessa Oliver will recruit new airlines to keep travel convenient and affordable. Oliver will bring jobs back from China to the airport's business park. And Oliver is a strong supporter of President Trump and his agenda to rebuild our runways. Conservative Republican Vanessa Oliver for Charlotte County Airport Authority.
Paid for by Vanessa Oliver, Republican for Charlotte County Airport Authority, District 1.
The state, Florida schools are beginning to reopen. Florida teachers are suing the state to stop it.
Everything they're saying in their lawsuit, which is so frivolous, is completely opposite of what we did. What we did is give maximum flexibility and maximum choice to the district so that they could protect their teachers, protect their students, protect the whole education community.
Florida Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran on Fox. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy drawing fire from congressional Democrats who claim his service cuts are slowing deliveries.
The new head of the post office, a political appointee, wants to slash and burn. And furthermore, they are opposing the Congress's desire to put $25 billion into the post office.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. America is listening to Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Now, this is a Wink News update.
I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News. A close call for a pilot after making an emergency landing on Sanibel. The pilot told us carburetor ice caused the engine of his single-seat plane to malfunction and he started losing altitude. He made a slightly bumping landing on the mostly empty beach. Thankfully, no one was hurt and witnesses in the area are now commending that pilot for his quick thinking. A longtime friend of President Trump visits Southwest Florida. Roger Stone spoke at Seed to Table Market in Collier County last night. The president granted Stone clemency last month after he was convicted of lying to Congress and was supposed to spend 3 years in prison. Stone said Southwest Florida is especially important to the president's campaign. FGCU says 2 more people have tested positive for the coronavirus. That makes 4 since move-in. The school says an athletics employee and a student who lives in North Lake Village have tested positive. FGCU says everyone has to wear a face mask. They're using an honor system, but will discipline people if they need to. FGCU has become the latest place to experience a data breach through a university vendor. Several organizations in our area have also been affected, but no sensitive information was taken. United Airlines is adding new nonstop flights to 4 popular Florida destinations, including Fort Myers. Starting in November, there will be new round-trip service from Boston, Cleveland, and New York. Then in December, service will start for Columbus, Indianapolis, Milwaukee, and Pittsburgh. Another long-standing retailer is filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Florida-based Steinmart announced that move. The company told us stores will stay open during the bankruptcy process to sell off merchandise. Then they'll start to close all stores for good. I'm Lindsay Sablon with Wink News.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is still congested in Fort Myers on Bass Road heading south to Summerlin. If you want to avoid the slowdown, you can hop on San Carlos or even Pine Ridge Road heading southbound. Commuters on Colonial Boulevard, it is congested westbound heading towards I-75 as well as delays heading towards 6 Mile. There's a slowdown as well on Metro Parkway heading north to Winkler Avenue. But as far as I-75 goes, we're still up to speed. That's your Up to the Minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
For today, a hot and humid forecast with a mixture of sunshine and increasing clouds. By this afternoon and this evening, scattered showers and storms hit or miss across Southwest Florida. Very typical August weather for the rest of the work week into the weekend, as temperatures will be topping out in the 90s with our heat index over 100 and more chances for scattered storms. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
Wink News at the top and bottom of the hour.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
It's Big Al from Stevie Tomato Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing the foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports. You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana.
Pay more for a used car or truck when Galliana Kia in Fort Myers can sell you a new car for less. 2020 Kia Forte LXS lease, just $49 per month. That's right, a new car for just $49 per month. 2020 Kia Rio, just $13,990. Yes, $13,990. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Galliana Kia has lenders to get almost anyone approved. Plus, we'll take any trade, in any condition, even if you're upside down. Why? Why? Why buy an overpriced used car when you can buy a new car for less? Brand new Kias, just $49 per month.
You should be driving a Kia from Galliana. Galliana Kia.
At Galliana Kia, 1/2 mile south of Daniels Parkway on US 41 in Fort Myers. Open every day, including Sunday. Call 239-481-2600. GallianaCars.com. 24 months, 12,000 miles per year, $39.99 US sign plus tax title dealer acquisition. Zero security deposit with lender approval expires Monday.
Today, Byron Donalds claims he's for law and order. Yesterday, he wanted weaker sentences for felons.
We're going to provide some additional time off of sentences.
Yesterday, Byron Donalds, arrested for drugs and theft himself, wanted compassion for drug dealers.
Giving discretion to judges in some drug offenses.
Today, Byron claims he's for President Trump and a safe election. Yesterday,
We do want convicted felons to get their rights to vote.
who will Byron Donalds be tomorrow? Paid for by Honesty America, not endorsed by any candidate or any candidates committee.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Oh boy, it's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592, the Tri-Town Construction Talk and text line, streaming live on YouTube at Drew Steele Radio. You can watch on YouTube, you can watch on Facebook, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That will help us keep it going on both YouTube and Facebook, and we do appreciate you doing that already. All right, man, there's a lot. So even after the fact, I'm going to have to get to more. But time right now for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
Kamala Harris comes from the middle-of-the-road moderate wing of the Democratic Party, not the first choice of progressives, but Joe Biden banking that this historic move as the first woman of color on a national ticket will overcome that.
Oh, she's such a moderate. All of her positions have been moderate. As a matter of fact, there is a record of moderation right up the middle, just like Joe. That's George Stephanopoulos on ABC telling everyone that Kamala Harris is a moderate. Well, then how do you explain Newsweek, who came out with an article yesterday talking about Kamala Harris's record is more liberal than Bernie Sanders, and they have a Senate record analysis to show it? How do you do that? Well, you do that because, you know, when people are watching all the mainstream media outlets, those that do watch are just trying to gobble up all the fake news that they can. And boy, do they get it all the time, don't they?
Number 4.
At that moment, I knew I couldn't stand by and let Donald Trump, a man who went on to say, when asked about what he thought, he said there were very fine people on both sides. Quote, very fine people on both sides.
Oh, he did it. Okay. That's Joe Biden from yesterday as the Biden-Harris 2020 ticket makes its way to a stage near you and a screen near you because Joe finally got out of the basement and we can't have crowds. You know, there were about 100 people or so outside who were just super excited to see them in person, but they just couldn't do it because they couldn't get in because of social distancing. You know, but of course outside they were gathered in a crowd. I thought we're not supposed to do crowds. Hello, but anyway, there's Biden saying about the president and going back to the Charlottesville lie. The president of the United States said, very fine people, white supremacists, very fine people. It's not what he said. It's been debunked a million times. We did it a little earlier on this program, but keep it up. That's the kind of thing that the American people want to hear. The continuation of the lies and the myths when we all know the facts. Awesome.
Number 3. What else do we know about this population, 18 through 24? They are stupid. That is why we put them in dormitories, and they have a resident assistant. They make really bad decisions.
That's Kamala Harris last year during the primary. And when asked about 18 to 24-year-olds, she was visiting a high school. That was her comment. You know, I'm told that Democrats desperately need to get the 18 to 24 vote out in order to make what they hope to be a Biden-Harris presidency and vice presidency take place. I wonder if that scores points with the 18 to 24. It's like, did she just call me dumb?
Number 2.
And I will be pushing him. I will, as soon as we get him in the White House, and even before, with these task forces that we had, we were able to significantly push Joe Biden to do things that he hadn't signed on to before. So he is movable. He is listening.
Representative Jayapal of, I forget which state she's from, excuse me. But that is a representative there who is explaining she's part of the squad, isn't she? Explaining to everyone, I believe it was Trevor Noah on his program, that, hey, listen, just want to let you all know that, Joe Biden's malleable. I mean, we got him. We're going to present him with the left-leaning policies that we want to see. And, he's going to go, he's all in. He's all in. And, every once in a while we give him a cookie and we wipe his chin and everything is fine. Is that, what is that?
Number 1.
And then we're going to get to work fixing the mess that President Trump and Vice President Pence have created, both at home and abroad, through 4 years of mismanagement and coddling of terrorists.
Coddling of... Wait, that was Joe Biden yesterday. Accusing the president of the United States of coddling terrorists. Which can you explain? I have a question. I have a question in the audience.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Yeah, look, there's only 3 of us here. Can I ask a question? I can't ask questions? Okay. What terrorist is al-Baghdadi? Is that who he was coddling? And because he's not around right now. ISIS is a whole lot of them not around right now. Which one is it? Can you please help me with that? I don't understand. And the other part too is laughable when the former vice president says,
and then we're going to get to work.
Yeah.
Fixing the mess that President Trump and Vice President Pence have created.
Oh yeah.
Both at home and abroad.
Home and abroad. Like China. How dare they be mean to China? Come on, who doesn't love a cheap pen? Come on. Where are we going to get everything from? If China's not, where are you going to get your stuff? That was really, I'm sorry. That was, Jake, did that sound very liberal millennial right there? The way I said, where are you going to get your stuff? Who's going to get us all the good, cheap stuff anymore if you can't be nice to China? So what? There was China and the virus, and so what that it started there, and the whole world wants everybody to think it started with the United States. Where are you going to get... Okay, anyway.
You do have a lot of people who sound like that.
They do, yeah, Look, and let me just say this as well, that it's not every... kids, not all of you are bad, okay? It's not every millennial is crazy and And by the way, don't do drugs. All right. So anyway, yeah, it's okay. What else do we have? Oh boy, there's just so much. Where else? Oh, this wasn't yesterday. Brett Baer. Look, I don't know if you all realize this, but Kamala Harris is a senator. She's not a moderate. I mean, he even talked about this, right? He was on Fox last night. What did he say? I don't know. Where is? I don't know what's. I thought it was going to start playing there, and apparently something else played. What was that? Okay, there it is. All right, so here's sorry about that. Here's Brett Baer talking about that last night.
This effort to make her more moderate than her voting record is, and just if you look at the data, she has one of the more liberal, if not the most liberal, voting records in the Senate, definitely for 2019. And if you look at the stats about bipartisan outreach, she is down at the bottom of that list, 88 in one survey, 93 out of all of the senators there. So just on the stats, you can make the case, but pragmatic moderate is a tougher case to make for the.
Can I ask a question? And I wonder what you think about this. And if you want to comment, 239-479-5592 in the time that we have. Do you want bipartisanship? I'm being serious. Brett Baer just brought it up, and she doesn't have a record of being bipartisan in any way. And the reason why I say that is because why do we think that we can live right now in an era of bipartisanship when you know what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and the like, what they think about the Republican Party and what they think about conservatives, right?
Bowl of doggy do.
They never, ever have any intention of bipartisanship. All they want is what they want, and they will get what they want, even if they have to sneak it into a bill, or even if they have to wait until the time is right when you're not looking, even if they have to push it and force it, and things happen around the world to which they make this statement, like, hey, listen, we got to have universal health care. I mean, we've got a pandemic going on. We have people, how are they going to pay for their medicine, their medications? And we got all these people that are swarming into hospitals with COVID and nobody can get any treatment. And so how in the world are we all going to accept that unless we all had universal health care and then everybody can swarm hospitals because there'll be plenty because that's what it's all going to bring. No, I'm not kidding. That's the way they're talking about this right now because they want it and they're going to get it by any means possible. And the things that they put forward are antithetical to the Constitution, to the founding of this country, to where we want to go and be, to free market and capitalism and opportunity for everybody, and not put you in a box and not look at you as a race or a gender, but look at you as a human being and an American and say, we want the best for everybody. Unless you're a liberal who says, no, you have this box you're allowed to be in, and this place you're allowed to be in, and isn't it fantastic? Isn't it wonderful? We have a vice presidential candidate that was chosen exclusively, as the Babylon Bee put it, for her race and gender, because everything else is awful. But hey, we checked the box. That's awful. Even saying it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. To think that that's how people act, like this is somehow noble and this is good, that you're not looking at somebody by their character or by their politics, but by their race or gender. That's sad, is it not? And so when I say about bipartisanship, I really mean Chris in Cape Coral, for example. Chris, you want to comment on this? Do you see where I'm going, Chris? Like where
I do. Are you there, Drew? I
Yeah.
lost you the last few times I called in.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. I know we've been having some problems with the phone lines. I apologize.
Hey, no worries. No, first off, the Democratic Party is just they're all hypocrites. I mean, they literally picked the vice presidential candidate based on skin color and gender. How racist and sexist is that? Second of all, on bipartisanship, you know it and I know it. There's no other way to say it. It's literally not us versus them anymore. They're not even the opposing party to me anymore. It's good versus evil, Drew, and that's where we're at in America. It's the truth, and you can't paint it any other way.
It feels that way. Chris, listen, I always appreciate the call. Thanks so much, 239-479-5592. But it is true. We have the evidence to show that one party is looking at the Constitution, is looking at our founding, is looking at the opportunity given by our founders and the decisions that they made to make things right, make wrongs right, to change, to grow, and to open up what is the possibilities that no one gives you in any other place on the planet. That's why we have to build fences to stop people from coming in as opposed to allowing them to leave. So what are we doing? Begging and asking for bipartisanship. It's unfortunate. I mean, in the perfect world, that's what you want. It is fascinating, right? You don't hear a whole lot of that lately, or do you? If I'm your representative, if I'm your congressman, if I'm your state representative, if I'm going to work across the aisle to work with them. No. There is no working with it. You don't hear ads like that anymore, right? I don't think you do. Because you can't. Because they've proven that they have no interest. The Democrats have absolutely zero interest in working with Republicans. None. And the Republicans are always rolling over and giving in. It's sad. It was the case before Donald Trump came along and decided to fight. Some people have stood behind him and are willing to fight as well. And some give you the idea that, I'm the same way. I'm a big fight. And then when Donald Trump goes away, watch everybody scatter and cower. And watch all the rhinos and watch all of the politicians come back into play, the usual names, the usual suspects, if you will, that will come back out and say, hey, I'm here. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to work across the aisle and work together. No. Doesn't work that way. Not now. Because of them. It's not you. 239-479-5592. All right, Jake, let's go to break. And by the way, if you want to watch, we do appreciate you watching streaming live on YouTube and Facebook. But please go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. It's Drew Steele Radio, Steele with 3 E's, and we do appreciate that. All right, let's find out how the remainder of our forecast is shaping up with Wink News meteorologist Matt Devitt.
94 degrees, a hot and